Welcome to the road to 1,000 days survived in my hardcore world. This first installment includes episodes 1 to 7 in my 1.21 hardcore series in a big stinking compilation, so sit back and relax and let's get started with episode 1. Well, here we are in my brand new hardcore world. I've got a bunch of plans to essentially make this into the hardcore world I've always wanted. But of course, we need to get ourselves established first, which is what we're gonna get done this episode. So I've already gotten all the formalities done, you know, hardcore, fire tick off, weird seed name that you guys will keep asking me for in the comments. It's also always in the description now. And here we are. So let's get started with the first step of finding a location to get settled down at. Actually, I just lied. The first step, of course, is always, you know, punching a goddamn tree. And what I did next was craft up a wooden pickaxe, dig a big old hole, and mine up a bunch of cobble. I breached back up to the surface and crafted up a bunch of stone tools. Now the next objective is to actually try and find a nice little area to settle down at. I don't really know exactly what I'm wanting, either like a plains or a nice kind of forest. Oh, that area looks pretty interesting too. We got some coal up there as well. Let's go grab some. Oh, actually some nice starting food is going to be some salmon here. What the hell? Why did that just drop bone meal? I've never seen a fish drop bone meal before. What the hell? All right, there's a bunch of our salmon cooked up. Let's pick up our shit and make our way to, you know, a bit of a nicer area. Honestly, I don't know if we've actually just found the area. This looks really nice. We've got a bit of a plains over there. We've got a cherry blossom biome. Oh, there's actually a village right there. I didn't even notice that. We've got this really cool island over here. That's honestly the perfect size for our starter base, along with a couple more islands in the distance. Oh my God, it's actually going nighttime. I do not have a bed yet. Oh, there's sheep over there. Yes. Guys, I'm sorry. I would shear you, but I just don't have iron yet. Off to bed we go. Alright, so yeah, I'm honestly quite happy to settle down here. This area looks really cool, but I think before we get started on our base, let's actually go ahead and check out this village over here. Actually, why don't I just make a goddamn boat? What am I doing? Okay, I don't know what's going on there. That is quite strange. What do we got? Leather boots. Okay, better than nothing, I guess. Another chest, some bread. Yes. Okay, more bread and a saddle. That's cool. We're of course gonna grab as much of this wheat as we can. What do we got in here? A bit of a brewing stand. Don't mind if I do. Thanks, mate. More hay bales. Don't mind if I bloody do. And for the final chest of the entire village, this is what we got. So yeah, it's quite a shit village, honestly. But what I want to actually do next is just lock away a couple of these villages. So we're going to ring the old bell here and get them inside. Because yeah, I just want to make sure that we have at least a couple saved away so they don't get killed by bloody zombies and shit. All right, and well, that's just about everything of interest from that village. This is our haul here. So what I'm actually going to do next is head back and either, I don't know, start chopping wood or maybe do, yeah, I might actually do a little bit of mining to try and get some better tools. Here's our little ravine. We've got some more coal straight up. Oh, and yes, this actually does go down as well. Sweet. And here's where it goes down. Jesus, quite a lot. Look at that. I pretty much just want to get a couple pieces of iron and get the hell out of here because I am not equipped at all, as you can see. I've literally got freaking leather boots. That's going to do jack diddly squat, okay? Oh, there's some iron. There's a whole bunch. And of course, there's a skelly guarding it. God damn it, man. Is there any up here? Please. Oh, yes, there's a bunch here. Oh my God, look at all of that. Yes, dude. Also, if you're wondering what mods I'm using, be sure to check out my previous video. The best mods to enhance vanilla Minecraft, okay? Because I'm using almost all of them. Oh my God, dude, look at all the iron. That is a thing of beauty. I'm almost on the verge of tears right now. Oh my God, dude. When you see something like this, there's 100% gonna be diamonds down there, I swear to God. But that is so risky. Is that a risk I'm willing to take? I think so, honestly. Look at all these pricks right here. Oh, all right, we're just gonna make a run for it because honestly, I'm a greedy ass prick, okay? Oh, straight away, there's some I don't even have a freaking iron pick to mine them, man. What am I doing? Okay, we're gonna make a temporary little base under here. Oh my God, get that blocked off. Holy crap. Let's do a little bit of scouting. What do we see? Of course, one of those pricks. I don't see any more diamonds over that direction, but there's definitely some down there somewhere. Maybe we should get some armor and stuff before we actually go all the way down. Oh, I almost looked at him. That would have been game over if I look. Oh! How the heck? I'm in a block, dude. I was looking at him through a block. That is some actual bullshit. Thankfully, you can't actually get in here. There's our boots and there's our helmet. Dude, we're already fully suited up. Look at that. That is insane. What was that? What was that sound? That gave me goosebumps, brother. I think that's a zombie villager or something. That sounded so weird, man. All right, we're now fully kitted and ready to go. Yeah, it is a zombie villager. Come on, you bastards. There's our diamonds right there. Oh, there's some more up there too. Okay, we've got a lot of bogeys to deal with. All right, first patch of diamonds. Please be more than one. Yes, that's a good sign. Okay, it was only two. It was only two. That's all right. I'm not crying yet. Oh my god, look at the amount of zombies under me, right? That is just ridiculous. If I fall, I'm literally 100% boned. All right, we've made it to this bloody diamond. Oh, of course, it's just one, but I mean, it's worth it right now. Now I'm gonna have to go down there if I want to get those other diamonds. Oh my god, look at all of them. We're going in. I'm not even bothering fighting anything. I'm just mining. One more. Oh my god. Okay, settle down, brother. All right, we've got, oh, there's so many over there. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, let's just make our way over to this one. Oh my Jesus Christ. I don't know why that scared me so bad. Okay, we made it. I ended up having to use my freaking wood to get here. Oh, yes, dude. That is a massive patch. Yes, that's like 8. Oh, you're kidding. No. Let's just grab it. No, of course it burned. Well, I think we only got like 2 diamonds out of that, but we still have 14 in total, which is pretty good. All right, I'm going to figure out how to get back home, and I'll probably meet you guys back on the surface. So yeah, I'll meet you there. Okay, thankfully I made it out alive. Now let's actually craft up all of our brand new diamond tools. Here's our final one, the sword, and we even have 5 diamonds to spare, which is pretty crazy. Holy crap, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. We're only up to day 2 as well. Honestly, I cannot believe how far we've come already. Okay, well, now with our newfound wealth, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just chop down a bunch of trees and get my island a little bit fixed up, I guess. Right now it's got like a big hole in the middle and stuff, so I might do some terraforming and fix that up, and also chop a bunch of wood. So yeah, let's get started. Before I started chopping, I actually got a light bit of farming done, making a wheat and sugarcane farm. Once they were established, I sailed over to the other side and spent a couple of days harvesting almost the entire forest. With a bunch of wood now harvested, I moved on to terraforming my island, as it was looking quite wonky. I just simply worked on smoothing off the corners, which was actually quite a pain because I kept constantly running out of dirt and ended up harvesting some from the other piece of land. I also worked on patching up as many holes as I could, eventually opting to leave the big river in the middle. Next up, it was time to plan out a house design using my brand new epic tablet that has a pen. I found some awesome inspiration from my favorite builder, Cryptozoology. Be sure to check his channel out, by the way. It's pissing me off how he doesn't have 100k subs yet. And so, using his awesome build, I sketched out the framework of the house, also making sure to change some stuff to make it closer to my vision. I added a chimney on the left, along with working on the designs and details that I'd add onto the walls. The top floors would have some nice planter boxes with flowers, and the top middle wall would lead to a balcony. And yeah, so that's it. It was honestly heaps of fun using this thing, and I'm looking forward to using it more for future builds. Okay, so there is our island so far. If you're wondering what mod this is, by the way, it's called Ortho Camera, very useful. But there's the shape of our island, kind of like an oval shape, and I ended up deciding on leaving this actual little river that goes halfway through the island here. I just decided on leaving this because I didn't have enough dirt to cover it up, and I thought it could be a cool feature. And so as for the layout, I'm thinking I want to put my main base back here, and then I want to have 2 other buildings, maybe like a villager breeder over here, and then a trading hall over in this side. But first, of course, I think we need to get started on the base. I do have a lot of wood for this. I don't know if it's going to be enough. So yeah, using that sketch that I made just before, I'm going to, yeah, basically use that as my reference. So let's get started building. All right, so finally getting started on my main base, I figured out the dimensions and basically just followed my reference sketch from earlier. However, I did need some resources for the block palette, which consisted of stone for the bottom floor walls, diorite for the top floor, and deep slate for the roof. Essentially just a budget version of Crypto's house. With the majority of the resources obtained, I started adding in the bottom floor walls with textured stone and stone bricks. I added a large doorway design using trapdoors and, well, a door of course. After finishing up the main walls, I continued with the details, adding arches under every pillar along with the segments that'd hold the second floor pillars. Moving on to said second floor, I added those pillars in along with our walls consisting of textured diorite and polished diorite. A lot of people give this block shit, but honestly, I think it looks great. Then for the roof, I went with an outline of oak slabs and stairs followed by textured deep slate tiles and bricks for the main roof. I added a big main dormer to the front middle area as well. Then it was onto the quite large chimney that I messed the placement up on, but once it was added in, it was looking awesome. Finishing up, I just simply went around the entire base and added all the missing details like the second floor arches and all the planter boxes in front of the windows. Oh, and I finished up the balcony as well. Okay, and there is the exterior of our base, fully completed, looking awesome. Here's a look with the orthographic view. Dude, that is looking so nice, man. But yeah, so that's the exterior done. We, of course, now have to do the interior. I have done a little bit of planning already, and I have marked out the floor and the ceilings here. I'm going to leave a gap in the middle there, and we're going to have our ladders on either side in this little gap. Next, right in front of the door, I want to have my bedroom. So let's first, of course, craft up the bed, and then we're going to chuck that right here. I've got my bedside tables ready to go. I've also also got some decorative flower pots here, so let's chuck some of those in. And then above the bed here, I think it's going to be a perfect little spot to add in a little bit of an oak leaf decoration like that. And hell yeah, that's a pretty sweet looking bedroom. Next, let's add in some of our lighting here with some lanterns. Bang, there we go. Next, let's figure out storage. I'm thinking maybe on this side of the house. So what I might actually do is maybe just place in our chests on this back wall here. I think this is going to be a pretty good spot. Oh yeah, I did have to kill one of these guys because, yeah, he like spawned right next to me. So we got this stuff. I don't know why you get this in like a potion bottle now, which is interesting. All right, and there is our storage finished off. That is plenty of storage. That's going to last us quite a while. I think in here is going to be a nice little spot for maybe a flower pot. And then let's pretty up the ceiling here just by doing that. I don't really know what we're going to do here. But yeah, over onto this side of the base. This is going to have to be combined crafting and furnaces. So I'm probably going to put it in like an L shape like this, I guess. I think that's going to work nicely. So maybe let's do our furnaces along the bottom. Okay, maybe we'll actually get 6 furnaces, I reckon. And then down here we can have our grindstone. We'll have something else there. I don't really know what. And then we can make a nice little shelf to hold the rest of our stuff up here, along with our furnaces up here too. And you know what? I think we're just going to add in a bit of a pillar like that. Let's maybe actually even put in some barrels up here just for like some extra storage that I'm probably never going to use. But yeah, that's a cute little crafting area. And then we have these 2 gaps here, which I have the perfect little detail for. We're going to put a composter followed by 2 oak leaves. We're going to put a sign on front of that as well. And we'll do the same on the other side. And bang, that's some cute little house plants there. Now let's head upstairs. I want to add a bit of a safety railing onto this. All right, there we go. So I don't really know what I'm going to do up here yet. Obviously, we'll probably get... Oh, actually, we need to fill those windows in. But we'll probably do enchanting on one side. And then I don't really know what else on the other side, to be honest. And there we go. There's our windows done. What I'm going to do next is move all of my crap from this chest inside and probably do a bit of organizing as well. And then I think it's time to move on to our second build, which I think is actually going to be a little bit of a bridge here to cross this gap. And I want to make that out of stone. So I'm going to go do everything I just said before. I'll mine a bunch of stone and smelt it up, and then we will start making the bridge. All right, let's get started on the bridge. I actually ended up changing my mind on the blocks I wanted to use, so we're using wood now. So this is where our bridge is going to start, and it's going to finish over here. So it's going to be quite small. All right, so I'm wanting something fairly simple, but just I want it to be kind of like an arched bridge, I guess. There we go. So that's a nice shape there. But what I do want to actually add as well is just like some little supports where I can. I don't know, it's just lacking something. I think what we're going to do is actually extend the sides out and maybe put some stone on the sides. I think that's going to look quite nice. I just want these to simply be like 1/2 block elevated above the actual path of the bridge. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. That looks good. And then I think we might actually leave our supports back where they were. I think they're going to look quite nice there. Let's repeat this on the other side real quick, and then we'll see how it looks. All right, and that is looking super nice now. That looks so much better than it did before. We've got the lanterns on here as well now. I think they fit in nicely. Although one thing I think we need to do is just add a little bit of texture into this bridge, just because the repetitive stone bricks just, I don't know, it just doesn't look that great at the moment. All right, and there we go. That is looking awesome, dude. One thing that's already starting to piss me off is falling into the water here, so I want to add like a cool little secret passageway, I guess. And I was thinking right here is going to be a cool little spot for that. So let's just dig this all the way down, and then I want to put a couple of ladders on here. That way, if you ever fall in, you can just come up through there. I think that's pretty cool. We might as well just add one on the other side as well, actually. All right, so there we have it. That's our bridge. That's our base done. Next up, I want to move on to some villager houses over on this part of the island here. So yeah, I'm going to go start harvesting a bunch more resources, and then we'll get started building those. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so for the first build, we're bringing back a classic. It's the brothel. I also did another quick sketch for this one just to get a decent plan in mind. I built up the first floor, which was to be the dungeon of sorts. I guess villagers that are ready to be transported over to the trading hall that we're building next. The second floor was to be 1 block wider on the front and back and to consist of wood as a nice contrast from the bottom floor's stone. I added on the roof with 3 little dormers along with some cute open balconies on the front walls, and I finished the build off with some detailing. Now moving over to the trading hall, here's the sketch I did for it, by the way. So we're keeping it only 1 story tall just for something a little different from the previous 2 builds. I added big planter boxes along the front walls along with using stone for the wall block palette. Onto the roof I went with my signature curved style along with adding big dormers in the middle at the front and back. And to finish up the exterior I added some simple details in along with some lanterns. With the main build's exteriors done, I moved on to adding in a big old wheat field behind the trading hall. I wanted this to extend up towards my main base, so I figured getting it planted now was a good idea. I also wanted to surround my entire island with a palisade style wall, which was going to need a lot of wood. So it was time to basically chop down the entire forest. Now with a decent bit of wood, I got started on the main entrance, adding our palisade style walls on the left and right. For how you'd actually get onto the island, I just decided on making a boats only entrance essentially, along with villager proofing it so we wouldn't have any escapees. I then just worked on continuing our walls, alternating the heights as much as I could, along with stripping every second pillar of the walls. A great tip for getting these style of walls looking good is to have 3 different heights. In my case, it's 2, 3, and 4 blocks tall. You never want to have any of those heights close together, so pretty much just go 2 blocks, 4 blocks, 3 blocks, and back to 2 in that kind of pattern. And to finish it off, I went back around placing a fence on top of every single wall segment, along with placing torches on top of some of them, keeping them relatively evenly spaced apart. Once every wall segment was completed with torches and fences, I added a quick little gate onto our river entrance to prevent villagers from leaving, but still allowing boats in with some fence gates. With some wheat grown, I worked on harvesting them up, along with tilling our farms to expand and planting the seeds I had. Next, I felt our mine entrance could use some love, so I opted to build a simple cobblestone mound around it, along with smoothing it off with some stairs and slabs to get a nice organic look. I once again continued expanding the wheat field up alongside the river and up towards the mine entrance we just created. It still wasn't done, so while waiting for the wheat to grow, I decided on finishing up our pathway, starting with one that'd lead over to the mine entrance. I moved over to the main pathway, branching that from the bridge to the main entrance, along with off to our 2 brothel entrances and the trading hall. A pro tip to save resources on paths that probably everyone knows, but definitely use slabs, as you're getting quite literally double the amount and you're never gonna see the bottom half anyway. And finally, I finished off the wheat field. Alright, and here is our new area so far. Dude, this looks insane already. I love it. Here's a look from the isometric view. God, I love this mod just too much, man. That looks awesome. And so what I want to do next is actually start a couple of little animal pens over here. So we're not going to go too crazy. I just want something relatively small just to get a couple of cows established, because I want to make some books for, you know, enchanting and stuff. So there's our little cow pen. We do have a chicken roaming around here from an egg that I threw in here. He can just kind of roam free for now, but yeah, I'm going to go grab a couple of cows. I did see 2 over on the hill over here before. Yeah, here they are. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly lead these guys over to their pen and get started breeding them. So just give me a second. I'm going to get those guys over there. Oh my god, I didn't realize cows were so slow in the water, man. What is this? I'm better off just getting them in the bloody boat. There we go. That's going to make it a little bit easier. There's our first guy in, and there's the second one. Let's get them started. There you go, boys. Well, boy and girl, I'm assuming. And there's our first little baby. Hell yeah. All right, next up, we're going to get started on the interiors of these 2 builds. I'm going to grab a couple of things first, and I'll meet you guys in the trading hall. All right, I'm back with a bunch of random stuff. Let's get started building the interior for our trading hall here. So you might have noticed already, I've gotten the floor already finished. And so what I want to get started on now is going to be the actual, you know, trading stall areas, I guess. And so I think the best way to do this is going to have some stripped logs like this. Then we're going to have the trading blocks in front. I'm just going to pre-place those. And then on top of these, let's get some slabs to hold them in. And yeah, that's literally it. It's not the craziest, but maybe we can get some trapdoors in between these here just to get it looking a little bit more elegant. Also want to get a bit of like an interesting ceiling design going, mainly because I can't be bothered just, you know, filling out the whole thing. So I'm just going to do something like this. And maybe in these corner points here, we can put some lanterns for lighting. And now let's also get our final stall done, which is just, you know, that's all I could really make in terms of lecterns. So, you know, that's all right. But yeah, I do want this to feel less like, I don't know, slavery and more like a nice place to work at, I guess. So that's why I have gotten a bunch of nice detailing blocks here. Starting off, let's get some nice house plants planted. That's going to look quite nice. We can also maybe surround these with some signs just to add a little extra detail. Maybe over on this side, let's get a crafting bench and maybe some storage as well. That'll be nice and handy. On this side, I don't really know what we'll place, but we'll figure it out eventually. And I guess I might as well just fill in the rest of these stalls. I don't really know what jobs these guys are going to have yet. Probably all just librarians. I just don't have the leather for it yet. But yeah, there we go. That's everything filled in, and that's looking pretty cool. I'm happy with this interior. Now let's move on over to the brothel. Oh my god. What are these guys doing on my island? These guys actually, I'm so sick of these guys spawning in. It's pissing me off, dude. If anyone knows how to get rid of these absolute pricks, tell me in the comments, okay? All right, now when it comes to the brothel, I do have a pretty 200 IQ idea in mind. So this top floor here is going to be our, you know, open breeding area, okay? I did think about having individual rooms set up, but, you know, we want to be space efficient, not privacy efficient, okay? Although we will keep it nice and lively with some flower pots and some flowers inside of those. Now, we'll get some essential things down, like maybe a crafting table and a little bit of storage over here as well. And I'm just going to craft up as many beds as I can and just cram this goddamn place full of them, okay? Because we want lots of villagers. All right, so that's all I can make for now, but that's a pretty cool layout. That's gonna fit, what, like 12 villages, I guess, and we can even cram this full more if we want to. But when it comes to the bottom floor, I essentially, you know, and like at a moment's notice, I want to be able to just mine out the floor block and have the villager drop down and into a boat. So I'm just going to quickly craft up as many boats as I can and just basically fill this entire floor up with boats, okay? That way I don't have to mess around with trying to get them in boats and crap, because it's just annoying. So I'm just going to fill up this entire floor, okay? All right, there we go. It's a bit cursed, but I mean, if it's going to get the job done easier, then there's nothing really wrong with it. Although I think we will actually get some lighting down in here. I think I forgot to do some on the top floor too. There we go. Nice and bright little boat room. And for the second floor, I think we'll just do the same weird like ceiling thing just because I'm running out of wood, okay? All right, that's looking pretty good. Although I did just realize the villagers are going to easily just be able to leave through here. And I don't really want that. Okay, there we go. They can't escape now. That's going to work perfectly. And so now all that's left to do is basically just grab some villagers over from that village and bring them up to the brothel to start breeding. Let's work on bringing the villagers over. All right, here we are. Thankfully, we do have some that are actually still alive here. We've got a bit of a cartographer. So I might try and snag this guy. I've never done this with a boat before, so I don't know how well this is going to go. But mate, you need to get in there, okay? We're taking you to a new home. It's going to be better than this place. You'll have, well, a lot less freedom, but come on, man, get in there. Okay, there we go. We got our first guy, and now it's time for the long journey back home, and I essentially, yeah, have to do this twice, of course. Oh, and we're goddamn stuck in a pathway block. Wow, this is gonna be annoying. Okay, well, I'll just meet you guys over when all of this crap is done, because this sucks. Come on, man. God, you're a dick. There's a job site right there, man. Bro, what are you doing? Just looking at the bloody composter. You pain in my ass, dude. God's sake. Come on, big rig, up this way, bro. What are you doing? Oh my God, this guy. He just went, instead of going to my stone cutter up there, he's going all the way into my freaking composter in here. Are you stupid, bro? This is the most frustrating thing. What is he doing? He's just walking back and forth. There's literally job site blocks right here. He wanted them so bad over there, but now he doesn't want these ones. Oh, dude, I'm gonna lose it. All right, figured out the solution. We're literally just gonna boat him over this little dirt bridge that I made. Come on, mate, let's go. I don't know how I'm gonna get him up there, though. That's the only problem. All right, let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. Please. Go on, get inside. Get in there. Yep, it's getting dark. You're scared. Get inside. Please, brother. Please. You absolute idiot. Get in the fucking house. Yes! Okay, we got our first one. Thank Christ for that. Let's go get the next one. All right, and here is our second guy secured. Nothing short of f***ing annoying, I will tell you that much, man. Get in the house! Get in there! Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Thank God. They're secured. That's done. Oh my God, that was so annoying. All right, and so that's pretty much it for all of the exciting stuff this episode. I'm literally just going to give these guys some bread now so they can actually start breeding. Let's leave these guys to do their thing, and I'm simply going to finish up with maybe adding another farm over here. I'm not really going to bother showing it because it's just the same thing that I've already done. But yeah, this is our area at episode 1, looking awesome, dude. With our mini island village fully established, I feel it's time to branch out to the mainland and work on our first proper project, create a massive self-sustaining farming settlement. I was just gonna build a couple crop farms, but that really wasn't gonna cut it, so it's time to build an entire village around that instead. But of course, before we can get started on any of that, I need to get some more materials because yeah, this is about all of the wood that I have at the moment. Along with my stone, yeah, it's quite lackluster. But yeah, so the first thing I actually want to do is start some mining because I really want to get some more diamonds as well as diorite, deep slate, and stone. The hell, I forgot to completely block this off. I think it's because like 8 creepers came out of it last episode, dude. It was so freaking annoying. So yeah, I'm going to spend a bunch of time down here getting some resources and hopefully some diamonds too. So yeah, I'll meet you guys, I don't know, when something interesting happens, I guess. Alright, so I broke into a bit of a cave while mining for deep slat. Actually, deep slat? What the fuck did I just say? But yeah, it's actually one that we've already gone into. As you can see, I've got torches here already. And so, I just want to take a quick look around for some diamonds. And there's actually some already right there, which is quite insane. But we have a boner after us. Alright, you're a bit of a prick, mate. Alright, he's down. Okay, bit of iron, bit of iron. Can never go wrong with that. But I'm mainly here for diamonds because, yeah, as you can see, my axe is still an iron one. I've only got 1 diamond back at base, so I at least want to get 2. That would be amazing. Oh, dude, when you see this, you just know that there's going to be diamonds down here. Like, there's a 100% chance of diamonds being down here. I'm not going to cap on a stack right now, I swear to God, man. While I'm here, I'm also going to grab some obsidian because I do want to get an enchanting table set up and also a bloody nether portal for whenever the hell we actually go in there. So, yeah, this is this is gonna take forever, man. All right, there is our 14 obsidian secured. It took me like 4 tries to say that. I don't know why. It's like a tongue twister. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going on the prowl for some diamonds. I would literally go feral for some diamonds right now. Like, dude, oh my, there's so much iron. What the hell? Where's the diamonds, brother? Oh, yes. There's some. Yes. Okay, please be more than one. Please be more than one. Please. Oh, thank God. I actually started getting tears in my eyes then. Oh, is that what I think it is? Let's get our asses over there because that's going to have probably some good shit for us, honestly. Oh, yes, boys. Diamonds, diamonds. Please be more than one. Please be more than one. Please. Ah. Yes, dude. 3 more diamonds. We're at 12. That is so good. I'm very happy with that. Oh, yes. Look at that. We just found a dripstone cave and more diamonds. Yes. This is the best day of my life. Now we don't even have to worry about coal. We can just set up a lava dripstone farm. Dude, that is going to be so good. Yes. Ah! Oh, no, 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 no. This is very bad. Holy f... That is just a reminder of how easy... this series can end at any moment, dude. I have goosebumps over my entire body. If he came in here, we were 100% boned. Holy crap. What the fuck was that? Oh my God, my body. My nipples are fully erect right now, dude. What was that sound? There is actual tears coming out of my eyes. That was that creepy. That must be a new cave sound or something, dude. Jesus. But now that we have gotten a bunch of stuff that we need from down here, it is time to now upgrade our axe and go collect a bunch of wood. So yeah, I'm gonna get all that crap done right now. So now with a bunch of wood chopped down, I just got straight into planning out the farming settlement. The first thing I did was lay down all of the pathways out of stone and stone bricks, which helped me get a better understanding of where our houses and farms were going to be situated. I ended up choosing a pretty weird shape, to be honest, essentially 2 rectangles with one of them looping around. You might have also noticed I've incorporated a few areas with diagonal paths, meaning they'll have adjoining diagonal houses. I've got a bit of experience up my sleeve with those bad boys thanks to my previous videos, and I'm confident I can make it work. Okay, and there is our area so far. At the moment, obviously, it doesn't really make much sense, but it does to me at least. Essentially, everything here is just like an outline of something. These are the farms, and all of the wood is the houses, but we also have reached this corner where I want to do a bit more terraforming, but my shovel has, it's broken. And before I make a new one, I actually want to get enchanting set up, because as you can see, I'm almost level 30 right now, and I want to get a, like, I don't know, just an efficiency freaking 300 shovel or something, because I'm sick of digging dirt at regular speed like an idiot. Our sheep are starting to come along nicely. Did I just say sheep? What the hell's wrong with me, dude? Our cows are coming along nicely. I've been steadily breeding them away as I've been building, so we should be all good for leather, although I probably will hunt some wild ones. And we do have a decent stockpile of sugarcane as well. Just let me have a look. Also, I'm hoping to get a second chicken with these eggs so we can start breeding our chickens. Oh, yes, there he is. G'day, mate. All right, so we do actually have heaps of sugarcane, but yeah, we are lacking in the leather department. So I'm gonna go on the prowl for a couple of wild cows. All right, so I've just been having a quick little look around my area, and I've just spotted another 2 villages. We've got one over to the right here, and then another bigger one over to the left, which is kind of crazy. So I guess let's go explore these, and hopefully we can find some good stuff. Okay, and well, thankfully we do have a decent herd of cows up here, so I'm just going to, you know, sorry boys. You know how it is. Man's got to get some enchantments out here, and let's just have a peruse through here. Hopefully I can find some like carrots and other crops and stuff. And I think we just found some... Oh, yeah, there we go. Some carrots and some potatoes. Hell yeah. All right, here's the first chest. What do we got? Wow, that, I'm not even going to take any of that. That is pure garbage. Sorry, mates. Just gonna, yeah, just gonna... Sorry about that. All right, well, I've just searched through every house and everything was, yeah, pretty garbage. So I'm gonna go slaughter this absolute massive pack of cows and head over to that one. Oh, I can already see a blacksmith, which is a good sign. And yeah, hopefully we get some good stuff from over there. Now that is just the saddest thing I've ever seen. I just slaughtered this entire herd and left this little baby to fend for himself. Do I put him out of his misery? Let me know in the comments. All right, here's the blacksmith. Come on, something good. Oh, look at that. 3 diamonds. May as well get a bloody brand new sparkling iron helmet. Why the hell not? All right, and well, the last chest of the entire village. Okay, well, thankfully we got a couple extra pieces of leather. That does help out. Well, I'm just going to continue going around and finding herds of cows and slaughtering them. So I'm going to get that done. I'll meet you guys back at home. Dude, look at this. I don't think I've ever seen this before. It's a ravine that has another ravine going right through it. How cool is that? Made like a plus shape, and then we've got this massive cave over on the side. That's so cool. cool, dude. Oh my god, look at this area. That is insane. This is massive. I think my base is like back over that way, so we can definitely use this area for any like future massive scale projects. Like just look at this. Oh, there's a village there too. Look at the scale of this. Oh my god. I'm literally that desperate for leather. I'm just like, man, I'm out here killing horses, dude. It does not feel good, but I just need their goddamn leather. If you're wondering as well, yeah, that village had absolute nothing in it. But yeah, these horses are giving me a bit of leather at least. And well, I think that should be enough. 59 leather, almost a stack. If I need more, I can just get them from my guys back at home. So I think I'm gonna make the arduous trek back home now. I'll just like craft up a bunch of bookshelves and stuff. So yeah, I'll meet you guys there. All right, and there is our massive haul, all of the bookshelves that we made. I'm also just now crafting up our enchanting table. There it is. Hell yeah, dude. Time to head upstairs and find a nice bloody spot to chuck this thing. Oh, dude, look at that. We've got so many. Hopefully that's like the max amount. Oh, look at that. Fortune 3. Let's chuck this bad boy in and see what we get. Oh, god damn it. Seriously, no efficiency? That actually stinks. So let's pray. Come on. Yes, efficiency 4. That is pretty good. Hell yes, dude. Now I'm just going to quickly head back to our area over here and continue excavating this little corner here so that I can add a couple more houses in here. So yeah, just give me a second. I'm going to get that done right now. Dude, look at that. It is instant now. That is so good. I'm actually like tears are coming out. It is that good, man. And so I just continued excavating this corner of the village, ensuring to flatten it off nicely for a house or two to be situated on. I made sure to replace all the stone with grass and began laying out 2 more houses with some pretty large farms. Also, if I sound different, it's because my kid got me sick. I accidentally forgot to record me sketching the village, so here's the layout design I came up with. As for the design of all the houses, I did want to get a general sketch done for that, so I just chose the most basic shaped house that we'd have in the village and used that to lay out the details and how the walls would look, stuff like that. I did end up having to change the design slightly over in Minecraft, as while I was sketching I forgot the actual size was a bit smaller, but the general idea is what I ended up using. Honestly, since I've started sketching my builds out, it's made building so much easier, so if you're struggling with coming up with designs or executing your ideas in-game, definitely try sketching them. Highly recommend. Starting on the actual house over in the village, I first got the pillars established. Then it was onto the front wall design where I added in a window and of course the door. For the wall block palette, I ended up going with textured stone and stone bricks, the perfect combination. Next it was onto the details, of which I first added in some fence gates along with a fence with a hanging lantern. Then to add some extra depth, I continued with some stairs and fences below the pillar sticky outy bits. Then for the side wall facing the farm, I went with this for now, but I'd end up changing this soon. For the back wall, I just completely filled it in, which makes the interior a little bit easier, and for the final wall, I added a couple windows in. Then I just filled out the rest of the wall details around all the sides with the fences, fence gates, and stairs under the pillars. At this point, I realized the roof trim was actually supposed to be oak, not diorite, meaning I harvested all of that for no reason. So I crafted up all the stairs and slabs I should need and got back up to working on the roof. I ended up going with my signature style roof, but incorporated that slightly different bottom trim style where instead of 2 oak slabs, we do 1 oak slab on the bottom and 1 deep slate above. I've definitely fallen in love with this type of roof. To add some detail to the roof, I had decided on adding a dormer, which I felt looked kind of weird, so I decided on balancing it out with the same design on the opposite side, which ended up making it look a little bit better. For the final roof detail, I of course went with a little chimney, capping it off with a campfire surrounded by oak trapdoors, and stepping back, it was looking really good. I then added a little table in front of our front window and went in search for some flowers, found a decent patch, and headed back to the house to add the pot and a cornflower inside. So that's the house fully completed. Now it's time to add the little crop farm off to the side. I did this by adding a simple fence design around the area I wanted, placing some water down in the middle and tilling all the land. I then planted in all the carrots along with placing a slab and composter over the water. Next up, I just went straight into building the next house design, of which I decided on doing a pretty different shape for. Essentially, the main house is just the square, but we have this smaller section towards the front that'd serve as the entrance to the house. I filled in the entire roof with our oak trim, along with that front area, which gives us a pretty cool looking roof. I also filled in the main roof with our same blocks from before, deep slate tiles and bricks. After finishing up the chimney, I headed down to fill in the walls, which were again a pretty similar design to the first house, except that this one was actually 1 block taller than the first, which was to give room for our interesting front entrance area. I decided on adding our sticky outy bits to this front area as it was looking kind of weird, and then went around and added all our details around the walls. With that done, I added in the simple crop farm, of which I planted beetroot in. Now it was time to tackle the first diagonal house, which is a completely different beast altogether. I wanted to keep a similar design as the regular houses, but it's just honestly really difficult to get that on a diagonal house, especially with the fact that this is the second one I've ever built. The roof on the first one I made ended up being a bit too mellow, so going into this one I knew I had to make it a bit taller, which ended up actually working out pretty well. Filling out the roof was a bit challenging on where to actually place the deep slate, but we got there in the end. I then ended up spending a bunch of time refining the front wall design as it was looking really weird. I still wasn't too happy with it, so I just covered it up with a bunch of leaves. And well, there is our first 3 houses all done. I'm actually really happy with these first 2, but this one, yeah, it's kind of got a face that only a mother could really love. I mean, if you look from really far away and squint really hard, it looks pretty good. But yeah, once you get up close, I don't know, it's just a bit whack. I mean, the sides look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with these, but the front, I just could not get looking right. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, maybe give me some advice in the comments if you're a freaking diagonal house gamer like I want to be. Give me some goddamn advice, okay? And yeah, so that's like 1% of the village done. We've still got all of this stuff to do. And I think I want to move on to something a little bit different from some houses. And so yeah, I just want to move on to adding in these front crop fields all along here. Yeah, so I'm going to go grab some water. I'll grab all of my crops and we'll get started planting all of these in a time lapse right now. Alright, and there is our crop fields, well, mostly completed. I'm still waiting on some of them to grow in so I can plant in the rest. But now I want to move on to the next little part, which is actually going to be in front of these crop farms, and I want to add in a little bit of a marketplace here. So I just spent about half an hour just going around and shearing a bunch of sheep. This is all the wool I've gotten. Hopefully it's enough. Also went and grabbed some dye as well. And yeah, so it's basically time to start creating some market stalls. And we also need to figure out a design for these, of course. I do have a bit of a design in mind, and I'm thinking something a little bit like that. I might actually make this one taller on the front here. Let's make this first stall blue. And so yeah, we're just going to do strips of blue and white like this. There we go. That's our first little stall. That's looking quite cute. At the front here, let's add in a little bit of a table, and we can put just random trinkets and stuff on that. Now at this point here, I want to have like a little dirt path that'll come into this little like marketplace area. So I want it to start maybe about here, and then it'll come back out around like here or so, just before this little house that I'm going to build next. So we could definitely fit in another small little stall right here, and then we'll finish it off with a little table there, and that's looking pretty cute. Now maybe over here, because we don't have a lot of room, what we could maybe do is just add in like a table. I love adding these into like market stalls and stuff like that. So instead of like having this roofed area, we're just gonna have like a little table like this, and then we can just put random stuff on there. On this side here, we could definitely add in another full stall. Hell yeah, that's looking pretty good. And we definitely have room for one more stall over here, so let's get one added in here as well. And there we go, that's looking pretty good. A cute little market stall. We definitely do need to add some details to this, so let's crack out all of our wood details. God, my inventory is just full of crap at the moment, man. So for the first detail, I'm definitely thinking some fence gates along here is going to just make it look a little bit more like, I don't know, kind of established, I guess. We can even maybe add some on the sides as well. I think that definitely works well there. That makes it look way nicer. We could probably, oh, actually I forgot to add some tables onto these ones. The hell? And what's going to take this to the next goddamn level is, of course, you guessed it, some chests, some barrels, and some composters as well. And yeah, so there we have it. There's like a little marketplace area. Nothing too crazy, but looking pretty good. Next, let's move on to this building here, which I want to make in a specific style. I don't really know how to explain it, and I've never made a house in this style before, but we're gonna see how we go. So there's all of the walls placed in. Now what we're going to do is actually add in a like kind of stair thing on the side here. Then on these parts, we're going to be placing in some walls like so. Man, I'm praying this is going to look good because I have no idea what I'm doing, literally. Then, as for the actual roof, we're going to be adding in our oak stairs like this. So yeah, it's going to look a little something like that. Yeah, again, it looks kind of weird, but you can probably tell the kind of style I'm going for. And now at the front wall, this definitely looks quite strange. So, just something like that. And then what we could maybe do is add in some slabs and some trapdoors above here, just to add some depth to this front wall, because it definitely kind of needs it. And we could also maybe add in like a window over on this side here. And we could maybe just do, I don't know, does that look weird? I think it does. Maybe if we replace these side ones with some stairs, it might, I don't know, it might look better, maybe? What if we add some trapdoors on top of these trapdoors? Yeah, I think that looks a little better. And then we could maybe replace these with some more stairs, like that. And then, oh, actually, okay, I got the perfect thing right here. Oh, bro, this is gonna look so good when I turn around. Are you ready? Oh. Okay, it looks kind of weird, but okay, what if we actually add more trapdoors like this to kind of frame it a little better? Dude, that actually looks awesome. That looks so good. Then for some little detail under here, we could definitely add in some leaves like this. We can't put signs on this side, unfortunately, because of these trap doors. But that's alright, that still looks good. Now, like, these sides, they just look so weird and flat, but this is how this style is literally meant to be. So I'm just gonna have to leave it, but yeah. And even on this back, I think we're just gonna leave it because I think it's just gonna look weird having this same thing on the back as well. So, but yeah, look at that. That looks... the side profile looks definitely a bit weird. We might have to add that on the back as well. Okay, that actually ended up turning out not too bad. That looks alright. I mean, it's just this area here where it's like so flat just looks kind of strange. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Oh, our crops have grown as well. Let's actually get these planted. But yeah, there we go. That's our like kind of market area done. I guess that's going to be like a marketplace kind of building or something, like storage or something. And I also just added in a couple more random details throughout our marketplace, like some hay bales and these pot plants and stuff as well. But yeah, so that's basically it for that market area. What I'm going to do next is start working on more of these house designs. We've got a lot more to get done, and I might as well just start with this big one right here in this middle area. As you can see, it's going to be like a bit of an L shape, and then we have these big farms around that as well. So yeah, let's get started on this one right now. So first up, I of course got the pillars fully established so I could see the layout of the house. I then went straight into designing the roof, adding 3 gable ends, which gave it a nice shape and design. As for the walls, again, our textured stone and stone bricks, along with plenty of windows and our details on the sticky outy bits of the pillars. I then finished it off with a couple of farms outside. I then added a little crop farm to fill in this gap and got onto our second diagonal house, which definitely had an interesting shape that wouldn't be a pain in the ass to get looking good. So after figuring out the pillars and the walls, it was onto the roof, which, yeah, this extra front area I decided on adding was quite difficult to get right. And once again, I finished the house off with some surrounding farms. And when I started on the next house, I had quite possibly the worst jump scare of my life. Oh my fucking god.
What?
I just like, I got out of my inventory and an Enderman just teleported right in front of me. What the f***?
It didn't kill you.
After changing my underwear, I got straight back to designing these next 2 houses, of which weren't too special. I then continued over to the back right corner of the village with another 2 houses, of which were both surrounded with a bunch of crop farms. The next house was a slightly longer variant of the last 2, and again had a big old crop field surrounding it with a few different types of crops. Then it was onto the final house, which was another diagonal one, and the smallest one of the 3. Honestly, I think this was the best of the diagonal houses I've made, but overall, I'm still quite not there yet with the techniques for these. I then filled in this big gap with another crop farm and continued with the final farm that I forgot over here for this house that'd fill in this corner of the village. And there we have it, all the houses are now complete, but we still have a bit of work to get done. Let's just take a little stroll through here and just, dude, this is looking awesome. But we are definitely lacking in a couple of things. The first being some actual pathways leading to the houses. I almost completely forgot about this. So what I'm going to do next is just make up a bunch of slabs and stairs, and I'll quickly get those done. So just give me a second. All right, there's all of our pathways added up and connecting all of those houses up to the main pathway. The next thing I want to do is just fill in all of these random little gaps with some details, with the first one being maybe like a little cart design. And so to make one of these, all I'm going to do is place a trapdoor like so. I'm going to place another one spaced 2 blocks apart like that. Then I'm going to get a couple of slabs and just place those in like that. And there you go. That's like a basic little cart design. If you wanted it to be maybe like kind of more realistic and actually like leaning against the floor, you could do something like this, and that way it's kind of like leaning like that, but you can't really put stuff on it, and I want to be able to put stuff on it, so I'm just going to keep it like this. And then on top of this, we can maybe put an extinguished campfire, a couple of hay bales, maybe a chest or 2, maybe even a lantern. And there you go, there's just like a cute little cart design. The next perfect detail that we could add to this village is just, of course, you know, the classic barrels and chests, of course, with maybe a couple of campfires in there too. Always an awesome detail. You can maybe add the same kind of thing back behind this house here. Whenever you have blank walls like that, it's always an awesome detail to add. Maybe some piles of like hay bales and stuff next to these farms would fit in quite nicely. Actually, I forgot another detail for this. We were supposed to add signs there. There we go, that's looking better. Now, because this is a farming village, I think another detail that will definitely look nice is just composters with maybe some lids scattered around. We could even put some stuff in these to make them look like they're being used. And yeah, there we have it. There's all of our details scattered around everywhere. I think it definitely brings the village to life a little bit more. And so that leaves us with the last thing that we need to do, the interiors. Everything is just completely plain and bare at the moment. So yeah, what I'm going to do next is go around and just add a pretty simple little interior into each one of these, just so they're a little bit more lively, you know? So for the first house, all I did was add in basically the essentials with things like a bed, some furnaces, crafting, storage, and maybe a little houseplant. And so that's pretty much the interior I added for every single house. Usually I don't even do interiors for something like this because it's never really going to be seen or used, but I just kind of felt like doing them, I guess. And yeah, so that just about does it for the village I've always wanted in Minecraft. It ended up being a little bit smaller than I thought, so I might end up expanding this in the near future, maybe with some different buildings like an animal barn, horse stable, stuff like that. One of my pet peeves is ugly ass automatic farms, so in this episode I'm going to attempt to make the most aesthetic automatic farms I possibly can. From a lava dripstone reactor to a super smelter warehouse, we've got a bunch of work to do, so let's get into it. Alright, so first up I want to actually scout out for a location for our aesthetic automatic farms. I do have a bit of a spot in mind, so let's go check it out. Also, if you're wondering why some stuff looks slightly different, be sure to check out my previous video where I showcase my brand new mod pack. I'm not using all of the mods from that, but just mainly the aesthetic ones. But yeah, so I'm thinking this spot right here is actually going to be pretty good. I mean, it's not the flattest of spots, but we can definitely do a little bit of landscaping. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, I think spot is found. What I want to do next is actually just go back and get a bunch of resources, starting off actually with some wood, because we're going to need a lot of that. I'm also going to need heaps of stone and copper as well for a couple of the designs that I have in mind. So, cue the montage. I ended up spending almost 2 days chopping wood, which ended up still not being enough for all of the builds we needed to tackle this episode. I also mined out a bit of stone down in the mine as well. Alright, I'm back from mining a bunch of cobblestone and some copper as well, and yeah, I do not have any coal left whatsoever. So my master plan is to make up a bunch of buckets and go just basically harvest heaps of lava down in the mines, because I don't really have my dripstone farm set up yet. Also, this is all the wood we got. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize I got that much. That's pretty good. Alright, let's head down to the mine and maybe do a little bit of exploring and gather a bunch of lava. Oh bro, check out this epic technique. You ready? I'm gonna crush the crap out of these mobs. Go. Yes, get him, get him, get him. Look at that. Screw that spider. Oh my god, okay. It's time to evacuate. Alright, catch you later, idiots. We've got an enderman as well. Oh, there's some lava down there. I just really do not want to fight that guy because for some reason they just almost kill me every single time. There's a bit of iron around here as well. I'm just gonna... Oh, dude, I just cannot help myself, okay? I know we're literally making an automatic iron farm this episode, but it's too good to resist, you know? Oh, brother, look at that. Yes. Always love me a good bit of cheeky diamonds. Come on. Yes, there's more than one. Thank Christ. Where's the lava at, man? I'm finding everything. Literally everything other than lava. There's one source down here, along with a goddamn creeper, of course. Oh my god. Okay, I thought his timer would have, like, reset there. That... Jesus Christ, man. Alright, there is one lava source. We've got another one down here. Yes. There's another one. Dude, just give me a lava lake or something. This is annoying as hell. Oh, yes. More diamonds for your boy, please. God. Oh my... Dude, that just gave me full goosebumps. I'm not even... Oh, these creepers out here are just ridiculous. The worst part about them is they just make no noise until they're like right behind you and they're sizzling, ready to burst. Freaking bastards, man. Oh, there it is. Yes, the lava lake we have been asking for. All right, and we are back. This is going to make smelting so much quicker and easier. Well, not really quicker, actually, but it's just going to make it... Coal is just literally just such a big pain in the ass. So, yeah, I cannot wait until we get that fully automatic farm set up. It's going to be so good. All right, let's get smelting all of this crap. And honestly, I don't know what we're going to do next. So I'll see you where I see you, I guess. Okay, so after a lot of deliberation and also setting up everything over here and all this crap, I've decided this area is just simply not going to work. The landscape is just going to be too annoying to work with, and it's I don't think it's going to be big enough as well. So yeah, we're moving out. God damn it, I don't have enough freaking space. Oh, I'm gonna have to do another trip, but I'll show you exactly where I'm actually going to be building this stuff in a second. Actually, I could probably just show you right now. It's going to be over there. It's a lot flatter and a lot nicer and bigger of a location. So I'll meet you over there and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so here we are. Yeah, you can see from this view here, you can see this is a much better spot. Definitely. This should definitely be able to hold all of the builds that I'm wanting because, yeah, they're going to be kind of big, actually. So, yeah. Oh, well, that's my second trip done. I'm going to have to go grab the rest of that stuff. I'll meet you guys back here again, and we can actually get started with our first build. Okay, we are back. I've got all of my stuff, and we're going to get started on the first aesthetic automatic farm, which is going to be actually a 2-in-1. It's going to be sugarcane and bamboo. And to house those two farms, we're going to need quite a large building, and that is going to actually be a watermill. I'm also just creating an elevated foundation of dirt here just because I want it to be slightly above the actual water line. So I think we're going to start it maybe around here, and Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm gonna spend some time getting the shape figured out and also establishing all of the pillars and stuff. So we'll get that done as a time lapse right now. I did do a slight bit of terraforming along with adding a section that'd stick out into the water. I also built out the frame of the rest of the watermill going for a rectangular shape. With the first floor pillars done, I just repeated that same thing to add in a second floor. Alright, so there's the framework all laid out for our watermill here. Now I'm planning on having the actual water wheels on this like face here, sticking out obviously in the water. And then the roof will just keep that consistent with the rest of our roofs as well. We'll go with, you know, this block palette over here. I think that's going to look pretty good. So I think it's time to probably just resume the time lapse and continue building. I ended up changing the landscape I did and added a stone foundation balcony thing along with starting the water wheel. It consists of 2 separate wheels to make it a little thicker along with the spokes pointing in each direction that I connected up with stairs and slabs. To complete the wheel, I added a stone holder thing at the end and then started back on the building with the walls. I opted for using stone and stone bricks for the first floor, transitioning to diorite and polished diorite on the second for a bit of a medieval theme. I added plenty of details along with finalizing the roof for this section, along with of course getting the final main roof created. Alright, so there is our completed exterior for the watermill. Definitely looking really nice, as you can see. Here's a nice little view. However, as we step inside, obviously there's nothing in here. I have done the floor and a little bit of the ceiling, but in here I'm wanting to add in our automatic sugarcane farm, and then up on the second floor here will be our automatic bamboo farm. And so for these farms, I'm gonna need a bunch of observers which need quartz, which means I need to go to the nether, unfortunately. Oh my god, dude, why are these guys back? I just want these guys to stop spawning, man. It's pissing me off. So I'm just going to make a quick and dirty little nether portal down in the mine here. I will probably eventually make like a full-on design for this, but I've already got a lot of work I need to get done this episode. And yeah, I just don't have the time to do a nether portal as well. So I'm sorry about that. All right, let's light it up, step inside and pray that we are not in the shittest location possible. Hell yeah, dude. Okay. Oh, I should have worn some gold shit because these guys are going to not piss off, man. Oh, he does so much damage as well. Holy crap. Okay, well, thankfully we have Fortune 3. This is going to make this nice and quick and easy. So I'm just going to harvest a bunch of this stuff, and I'll probably meet you guys back at the watermill. Okay, I am back, and what the hell? Dude, these guys are right outside now. Look at them. I hear them, but I don't see them. Oh, there they are. They're all just having a swim together. Okay, yeah, I should now have everything that we need to make this. God, this was all a pain in the ass to get, but we're finally here. And there's also a bee inside my watermill for some reason. All right, so first up, we're going to add in our sugarcane on this layer right here. Then because this first floor is going to be sugarcane, we of course need some water behind here. Now that sound of water running is going to be pissing me off, so I'm going to make this into just full water sources. All right, now we're going to cover all of this up with our stone. Next, we'll add a layer of pistons. And then finally, above all of these, we're going to add all of our observers. I'm going to add more full blocks back here. Dude, this is wasting all of my stone. Freaking hell. Line of redstone back here. And then finally, another layer of full blocks behind these observers. Okay, and that should be our harvesting mechanism all done. Let's go ahead and just grow some sugarcane here. There we have it. Gets harvested, sweet. I'm gonna plant all of this in. And now the next thing we need to do is, of course, add in our rails underneath that are going to be collecting everything. All right, so at each end, we're simply going to add a powered rail like this. Then we're gonna connect them up with some regular rails. In the middle here, we want a hopper that is going to be pointing this way and into our double chest. This is what's going to, of course, you know, collect all of our stuff. And then we just finish up those rails all the way across. And now all we need to do is just add in our minecart with a hopper. And this is just gonna continuously go back and forth. It'll pick up all of our crap and dump it in this hopper and into our chest. And yeah, so that's pretty much the farm done. All we need to do now is add in a nice little casing, and I'm going to do that with some deep slate blocks, and then I'm going to fill this in with some glass panes. All right, and there is the first farm all completed and growing away. I've also just prettied up the chest area as well, definitely looking a little bit nicer. So now what I'm going to do is head up to the second floor and basically just build the exact same thing except for bamboo this time. And I also don't have any bamboo, so once we get that done, I'm going to have to go find a bloody jungle somewhere. So I'm going to get that all built, and I'll hopefully meet you guys at a jungle that I've found and getting some bamboo. All right, I've just pretty much finished the top farm. I'm now just going to head off in a random direction in hopes of finding some bamboo and also maybe some different wood types, because right now I'm just only using oak, which is, it's kind of getting boring at this point. I don't think I've literally used my favorite block, spruce. I haven't used it in like, I think like 8 videos or so. So yeah, I'm definitely like a recovering spruce addict at the moment, but I wouldn't mind getting some of it back in my hands. Oh, some freaking coal. Look at all of it, dude. I mean, we're not going to need it soon, but right now it's pissing me off not being able to smelt shit. So I'm going to get a bunch of this. I'm going to, yeah, hopefully find some new trees. I mean, I don't really want cherry, or maybe I do. I mean, yeah. But hopefully some dark oak, hopefully some spruce, and hopefully some goddamn bamboo and jungle. So I'll hopefully meet you guys there. Oh, yes, look at that. There's a jungle right there. Yes. Let's get our asses over there, all right? Oh, no. Don't tell me this is a jungle that has no bamboo or something, dude. This is looking grim. I'm just gonna have to dive straight into the depths and fucking hope we find some, dude. Oh, yes, look at that. That is a beautiful sight to see, I'm telling you. Oh, we even got some melons too. Hell yeah, I'll take some of them. Yes, look at that beautiful thing. Come here. Come on, you little mongrel. All right, that should definitely be enough. I mean, it's gonna grow pretty quickly anyway. Honestly, I haven't found any new woods other than obviously jungle and the cherry, which I honestly don't ever even use anyway because they're kind of gross. All right, I'm gonna head back home and we'll finish up that last farm real quick. Okay, on my way back, I have just actually spotted some dark oak up on this hill over here, which I think, oh my god, dude. Lucky I freaking got out of zoom res then, dude. I would have freaking fell to my death right there. So I'm gonna quickly actually go up and grab a bunch of that and some saplings too, so we can start actually using dark oak, which would be pretty cool. So I'm gonna grab that and I'll meet you guys back at the watermill. All right, we've made it back to the watermill. Let's get up here and plant in all of our bamboo. Yes, the perfect amount. Look at that. Yes. Okay, now I definitely do want to get some light up in here so that these can grow. So there we go. There's some light. Look at them. They're already going. Yes. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just cover up the front of this with that nice blackstone facade. So yeah, just give me a second. All right, and there we have it. There is our beautiful bamboo farm all established. We're already even getting some bamboo harvested and in our chest. I can actually start using scaffolding now, so I'm very grateful for that. But now the final thing I actually want to do for this is make it look like the actual windmill is powering these crop farms. So right here is where our actual shaft, I guess, comes through. And so I just want to kind of make it look like this is actually just powering all of these farms. And then it'll go through here and into like this part, I guess. Yeah, don't ask how it works or whatever, but that's going to go in there and power everything there and up on the top floor as well. So yeah, I just thought that was a cool little detail to add, I guess. But yeah, there we have it. That is our first 2 farms actually completed. And I definitely think this is probably the most aesthetic I could possibly get them. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this overall. All right, before we get started on the next project, I actually have enough levels to fully enchant the rest of my tools. So I might as well make a brand new axe here. I think the sword should be fine. We'll just, you know, we'll just leave it like that. All right, so let's get our lapis in and our axe. Silk touch, man, what the fuck? On breaking 3, why can't that just say sharpness or something? I'm actually on the verge of tears. Bane of arthropods. Okay, looting 2, that's actually pretty good. Dude, I'm getting no efficiency, no sharpness, no nothing like that, dude. I'm actually... Okay, there's something good. It's not unbreaking, what the fuck? Dude, I must be enchanting wrong or something. Like, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I've got heaps of bookcases, like, what else am I supposed to do? It's not too bad, you know, it's not the end of the world. I really need to get mending on this soon because it's on the verge of breaking, but man. All right, so the next build I want to get done is going to be a lava dripstone reactor, okay? This is going to be pretty crazy. And I'm wanting to put it either just behind the windmill or like kind of diagonally off to the right behind it. And I've decided on a block palette of polished andesite, granite, and also deep slate. And we're going to need a lot of copper as well. I've been smelting up a bunch of copper. You can see I got some there. We got some in those top furnaces and up here as well. But I do not really have any andesite, so... yeah, I'm gonna have to go get a bunch of that along with a whole heap of granite as well. So I'm gonna go harvest all of that crap and then we can finally get started on the lava dripstone reactor. I wanted to theme this reactor more so as a 1930s factory building, which I felt a block palette of polished andesite and granite worked really well for. As you can see here, we're using that polished andesite for the frame of the building, which also extends up over the roof, sort of connecting the front and back pillars together. Then for the walls is where that textured granite and polished granite comes in to contrast nicely with the andesite, along with keeping that plain sort of feeling palette of a 1930s building. I added some more andesite onto the roof to divide up some sections where we could add some big chimneys to, of which I made out of polished deep slate. After adding campfires into all of them, I transitioned to the left wall to add a big lava tank connecting to the factory with some copper pipes. Alright, so there is the completed exterior of our lava dripstone reactor building. I think it's turned out really nice. I mean, it's not the craziest build, of course, but I kind of wanted that like old factory look, I guess, like kind of like from my Create series from a little while ago, if any of you have actually seen that. So yeah, it kind of gives that like 1900s factory vibe, and I really love all the pipes on top as well with the smoke coming out and this lava tank on the side. Yeah, I love that. So we're going to keep that kind of aesthetic on the inside as well. I was definitely inspired by this image that I found, which, I don't know, it just looked really cool. So I'm not going to completely copy that, but I'm just going to go for a similar kind of vibe. So I'm thinking on the left and right sides, I want like these big lava tanks. So probably about this big. They're going to go all the way up to the ceiling. They're just going to be filled to the brim with lava. So yeah, just something exactly like this. I'm just going to add in some lava at the top here. Okay, good. It is actually flowing out. Oh, it's not flowing out how I want it to, though. Shit. Grab it, grab it, grab it. Oh my god. I almost burnt to a crisp then. I think I need to... I probably just need to add more lava sources, eh? I really didn't want to use all of them, but might have to. Okay, let's see if I can get in here. So we want one there and one there. Hopefully that works, please. Yes. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. Let's cover this up. And there we go. We have our lava tank. I'm going to get this exact same thing built on the other side. So just give me a second. All right, so there's our 2 lava tanks all done. Now what I'm wanting in the middle of the room is some rows of cauldrons. So I'm thinking 4 rows of 5 like this. That's why I have, you know, exactly 20 cauldrons as well. So there we go. Exactly like that. That is also all of my iron completely gone. So we're going to have to probably make the iron farms next. But yeah, continuing on, I kind of want to connect these 2 lava tanks up to something floating above these, which is obviously where the dripstone is going to be situated. So I think that is going to be about the height that I want. And then we'll have dripstones coming down from that and like dripping, you know, obviously into the cauldrons. Now, I don't think I'm going to have enough dripstone, but thankfully I did find a little cave earlier that we should be able to get some more from. And I'm pretty sure it's this one. I'm kind of praying actually that it is this one. Yes, there we go. There's all the dripstone. Okay, let's get down there and grab some. There's a couple of skellywags in the way, of course, so we're gonna have to deal with those bastards. Come on, you mongrels. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we're just gonna have to run in. Get out of here, mate. Oh, okay, that was way too close. I seriously need to upgrade my armor, dude. That's just ridiculous. We're still on iron out here. Well, I mean, at least this sword excels really well at killing spiders. They literally only take 1 hit to kill. Oh my god, of course there's a creeper just sitting in there. Like, what the hell, dude? What are you doing? All right, that should definitely be enough dripstone. Let's get the hell out of here because I just, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna die down here, so. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to let you know, I actually enchanted a second pickaxe while I was mining for resources for the, what's it called? The factory, and we got a pretty good one. Silk Touch, Efficiency, and Unbreaking. I'm very happy with that. But yeah, I'm gonna mine all this up and I'll meet you guys back at the factory. All right, we are back and I'm just gonna continue adding these rows exactly like this. Of course, adding all of our dripstone down, and this should look pretty awesome once it's done. So just give me a second. All right, now I'm wanting a way to actually get up there that kind of looks like a factory thing, I guess. So I'm gonna make like a little catwalk, which I think will be cool. So let's just make like a pillar here with a ladder. And then to actually hold all of the lava that's going to be in here, I was thinking some cut copper stairs around this would look quite nice. So let's get all of these placed in. All right, so there's all of those stairs added in. I'm thinking that's looking pretty cool. And now I want to add in some like pipes that are coming out of this tank and actually going up into there. So I'm thinking the chiseled copper block is going to look really nice as like kind of a pump block, I guess. So let's add that in right there. And then I'm going to be using these lightning rods as sort of pipes, I guess. All right, now with our aesthetics taken care of, it's time to get the functionality sorted out. So let's start placing in all of the lava that I have to my name, which looks like we're going to get maybe about a row and not even a half. But that's okay. These will now start slowly filling up with lava and I can use those to fill in the rest and eventually to fill up my furnaces back at home, or actually even the furnaces we're going to be building in our super smelter soon. But now the final thing I want to actually do is just add in a little bit of storage at the back here and like, I don't know, some kind of cool design. Yeah, how cool does that look? It definitely doesn't look weird at all, trust. But yeah, we can use that storage for like putting our buckets and lava and stuff in like that. And yeah, I think that is pretty much done. This turned out really cool. I love this little interior here. But yeah, so now I think it's time to move on to our next farm, which I definitely want to kind of get the iron farm set up because I have none at the moment. So I'm going to figure out a spot to get this set up and we'll probably just start building it as a time lapse starting right now. I decided right in front of our reactor building would be perfect and got to work landscaping and figuring out the location for actually 2 iron farms, as I decided one simply wouldn't be enough. If you're wondering, I am of course using a tutorial for these, the classic one from Voltrox, link in the description. It's the one I've used on every single world and always works perfectly. Alright, we've come to the time in the iron farm where I need to now bring my villagers over to the actual iron farm, and I'm telling you, this method works perfectly of having boats down here, except for the fact that there's like 300 cats down here. But we've got this guy in our boat. I need to do this like another freaking 3 times, but at least we can easily just get to the river right here and just take them straight over to the iron farm. Now, obviously, I can't get them up onto the land without them running away, so I'm just gonna dig like a little water channel that runs all the way down here, and then like in the tutorial video I'm watching, link in the description by the way, when it gets to nighttime they should all run down into the beds. So I'm gonna get this filled up with water. I'll bring a bunch more villagers down here, get them into the pens, and we'll continue building the rest of that as the time time-lapse right now. Now, at this point, I'd realized I'd made a definitely quite questionable shape here, but at least it worked well for getting the villagers close to the farms. It did still end up being a bit of a pain to get them in, but we got there in the end. With the entire spawning mechanism for the golems completed, it was now time to create the kill chambers, which consisted of simply water that had pushed the golems into some lava. Quite inhumane, I know. I also lured some zombies down into the mechanism to keep the villagers perpetually scared shitless. And with all the inhumane farm stuff done, it was time for the fun part, making it look humane and nice on the outside. I achieved that by creating some wooden gazebo-type structures above the farms. I also spent some time making the chests a bit more accessible with some stairs, along with adding a bunch of details to our gazebo building things. Alright, and there we have it. There are the iron farms all completed. It's definitely not the most aesthetic way I probably could have done this. Honestly, I tried my best. It's just, it sucks having to have all these slabs and shit everywhere, just trying to to stop the iron golems from spawning. I really wish there was a better way to do it. I mean, I did use some string along here, but I've already run out. I could have just used string along all of the grass that was here, but I don't know. I just didn't really like that idea. My idea was kind of like a plaza area, or like a hub kind of thing, I don't really know. And then having these kind of roofed sections above the actual iron farms and having them nice and open, I felt these actually do look pretty nice in my opinion. I like these little arches as well that I've added here. But yeah, the iron farms are now working smoothly and perfectly. As you can see, we almost already have a stack in this chest. And over in this chest, we've got, yeah, pretty much 3 away from a stack. That's actually crazy. That's just while I've been building, these have already accumulated almost a stack each. And well, we're definitely going to need all of that iron for the next build that we're going to get done, which is going to be our automatic super smelter. I want to build this over in this corner over here, and I want to build it in kind of like a warehouse style. I want like a big kind of diorite warehouse, I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, I'm just going to get the shell of it built now as a time lapse, of course. So yeah, let's get started. Alrighty tidy, first up of course I got the old landscape smoothed off and workable, and then got straight into figuring out the position of the super smelter warehouse. I built up our polished diorite pillars and began slapping on a big old warehouse style roof using that same diorite for the trim and stone for the main roof block. Down to the walls, I did a style of walls I've never really tried before, using tough bricks, stone and stone at the top, along with a cute little window design and some walls on those walls. Now, I was actually pretty happy with this design. Why can't I say that, dude? Now, I was actually pretty happy with this design, so I simply repeated it across all the empty areas around the warehouse. I slapped some lanterns under those window cover things to keep it nice and bright, and then added some warehouse type designs to the front with a hanging cover above the door and some big open garage style door things on the sides. I also added in a floor of stone slabs because I'm a cheapskate. It was now time to fill up the warehouse with our super smelters, 2 in total. I built up the design, opting to keep it more aesthetically pleasing and less functional, which is honestly the main aim of this episode. Aesthetics are always better than functionality. I simply repeated that exact same design over on the other side. I was gonna mirror it so it was symmetrical, but I just didn't want to f with the design and have it possibly not work. To finish everything off, I added some lanterns hanging down on some chains. Alright, and there it is. There is the fully completed super smelter. Well, it's actually 2 super smelters in one, which is pretty cool, and we still have so much room in here as well for activities. Honestly, don't really know what else to add in here. I don't know, I just kind of thought that these 2 would take up the whole area, but but yeah, these 2 should work perfectly. I don't actually really have anything to smelt at the moment, unfortunately, but I ended up getting this all working out. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah, they're both pretty good now. And you can see we've got our iron input, our coal input, and then the output chest as well. And I just really like this design because usually, you have to have the chest kind of staggered and a lot higher up, but if you just offset the actual super smelter back a little further, you can make the front look a lot nicer and just have the minecarts simply go up like this, and it just looks way cleaner in my opinion. And then yeah, I just like having 2 separate ones so we can smelt different things at the same time. I mean, you can even do that on one, but I just like having them separate anyway. Yeah. Oh my god, of course there's a creeper right here. Please don't explode. Oh, what the? Why did that one take an extra hit? You have got to be kidding me. That scared the absolute shit out of me, dude. They usually only take 2 jump shot hits to die, but that one had an extra hit left in him. What the that's actual bullshit. Alright, but yeah, there we have it. All of our farms are now fully completed and looking awesome. I think my favorite, oh man, it's a hard choice between the watermill and the factory. I think I love this interior the most. Just this kind of industrial layout looks so awesome. Then the watermill exterior, I think, is the nicest. Just let me know in the comments what you think though as well. There's a pretty big problem with the current base design in my hardcore world. It's just simply not big enough. There's a lot more builds and farms I want to have on my island, like an animal barn, a proper tree farm, housing for my villagers, and heaps more. So let's get started on expanding my island into the ultimate survival base. Alright, so the master plan. I'm going to give you a quick rundown. So here is my entire island so far, and basically what I want to do is just expand out in every single direction and just add heaps of different stuff on that I need. Basically farms, villager houses, all kinds of stuff, and I do want to even upgrade a couple of things on my island here too. Like I want to upgrade this mine entrance. This is just kind of sad at the moment. And I want to replace this main farm with a couple of buildings as well. And so we are going to need an absolute metric ton of dirt to expand this island. And thankfully from this project, my last video where I built a couple of aesthetic automatic farms, I have a lot of leftover dirt. So yeah, here is all of the dirt that I have to my name. I mean, it's not even a double chest full, so it's definitely not going to be enough. But yeah, what I'm going to get started doing now is just simply expanding my island in every single direction. Honestly, I don't know how big I'm going to go with this, so I'm going to kind of just figure it out as I go. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing I did was figure out the proportions. Essentially, I wanted 2 rings with a pathway in between them, and I figured that having both rings at 7 blocks would be enough space. I then went around to the other half while placing some dirt and then extended that side out as well. I then just got straight into placing all of the dirt pathways. It was quite challenging to get the shape consistent and nice looking, mainly because our original island was nowhere near a perfect circle. And so with the entire front half of the island done, I moved on to the backside, this time making the pathway first. I also added a little bridge in this area for a future dock I have planned. Once I'd finished up this quarter, I moved on to the final area, with this one having some interesting strips of dirt. You'll see what they're for very shortly. Okay, and many hours later, here is our new expanded island, looking, well, kind of wonky, but we're not going to talk about that, okay? So you might be able to see some areas that look kind of interesting, like on the left there, we just have water. On the right, we have these strips, and that's because I have literally pre-planned where everything is going to go. Oh my god, dude, this guy. Okay, kind of scared. Oh, nah, I'm not even gonna risk it, literally. Yeah, so I've got a couple of things, and I'm just going to fill out like the easiest ones that I can start with. And yeah, so starting with this area here, which is going to be our sugarcane farm. I know I built a fully automatic one over there, but just don't worry about it, okay? Now, the next thing, I literally want to make almost like half of this outer ring as a tree farm, because the most annoying thing for me right now is having to go into this forest all the way out there to harvest my trees. And having like almost all of this back area as our tree farm is actually going to be super handy. So I'm just going to place in a crap load of my saplings throughout this entire thing. All right, and I'll probably stop it like right here, because from here on, I'm probably gonna start some houses. And so next, from this section onwards to where it gets cut off, I want to make this all just simply bamboo. Once again, it's going to look really nice once it's grown in, but that's all I have at the moment. And yeah, so that's basically the easy stuff done. I think what we'll move on to next is this little dock area. So as you can see, I've built this like little bridge here that's going to allow us to sail in and out. So I'm going to grab a bunch of oak wood, and yeah, we'll start building that as a time lapse right now. So this build was fairly easy. All I did was add some oak slabs coming away from the main pathway, and at the ends, I simply added some dark oak fences with a lantern on top. Once those were done, I revisited the bridge and just smoothened it out a bit more to get it looking a bit better. Alright, and that is looking pretty great. Especially with those trees now grown in, dude, that is that is gonna look awesome once they're all grown in. Okay, I've just made a couple of boats that I'm just gonna sprinkle into a couple of these little parking sections, just to make it feel a bit more lively. You may have also noticed over here, I've placed in a bunch of these dirt blocks simply to bridge the grass over onto this side. I mean, I don't think it's really gonna matter because all of this is going to be farms actually, so that was all kind of for no reason, because I'm just going to be tilling it to frickin' farmland anyway. Speaking of farmland, why don't we just start working on that next? Pretty much from here all the way up to this end of the pathway here, I want to make this all like carrots, wheat, and potatoes and stuff. We'll also get a bit on the other side over here as well. So let's just get that knocked out with a bit of another time lapse right now. Well, I've actually just realized I don't even have any carrots, so I've just sailed over to the nearby village in hopes that they have some. Looks like I've already actually stolen from this farm. We do have another farm up ahead though. Let's pray there's some carrots, man. Oh, that looks like some carrots. Yes. Okay. I'm just literally going to yoink all of this stuff because why the hell not? Oh, we've even got some beetroot seeds too. That is going to be absolutely beautiful. Thanks, guys. Once again, I'm sorry for stealing your crops, but I need them more than you do. Oh, there's another farm over here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna head back to base and we'll finally get started on this farm. Oh, this guy's actually even replanting them. That's so cool. Yeah, thanks.
Excuse me, what's the actual
First off, I needed to grab some wheat seeds, and well, I was removing most of this farm anyway, so I just harvested almost all of it. I moved down to the very front of the expanded island and tilled this first piece of land for the wheat. I would then continue tilling land all the way up to the tree farm, planting in carrots, followed by some more wheat, and finally some spuds. Back to the front, this time on the left side, I wanted to add in some smaller fields and a bit of a different orientation, firstly planting in some wheat with some carrots right behind. To the left of these two, I planted beetroot and more wheat, finally followed by more wheat and some spuds. Alright, and here is our island so far, coming in very nicely. My favorite part is definitely all of these trees in the background, and those farms right at the front are going to grow in very nicely. I'm just, waiting for them to actually grow so I can keep planting them. Also, before I forget, I really want to actually start replanting these bamboo shoots here, and finally actually start using scaffolding because, using dirt is quite possibly the most annoying thing when it comes to building. Alright, well that's as much as I could get replanted for now. We still have quite a ways to go. I might also just quickly do the same thing for the sugarcane here as well. Alright, well, there's all of the sugarcane I managed to get planted in. I mean, I could just literally go to my automatic farm. That's freaking the water wheel over there. But I'm kind of too lazy at the moment. Dude, I just can't get over how good this tree farm looks behind us. But yeah, so that is pretty much half of the expanded island filled in. We do have a lot more blank spots, as you can see. We got this massive area. And then off to the left side over there near the dock, we have some more space. And over there, I want to add in some buildings. Specifically in these areas, I want to add in some more diagonal houses as well. You know, I've had some good practice with diagonal houses over here. Some of them don't really look amazing. And literally this area is going to have some even smaller houses. So I'm going to have to try and figure out how to make them look good. Also, when it comes to this front area, I don't know if I want to leave this as like a water channel or just fill this in with a bridge. But yeah, I'll get that figured out eventually. So what I'm going to do now is just go and harvest a bunch of stone, a bunch of wood from my tree farm so that we can start building these little houses. So yeah, I'm just going to get all of that crap done and I'll meet you guys back here with the building. Alright, so for the first build, I decided on upgrading my cow's pen into a proper animal barn. I also decided on making this into a fully diagonal build, which would prove quite challenging, but I feel is definitely going to turn out awesome. I feel the roof is always the most challenging part for diagonal builds, but with my previous experience, I managed to get this one built with relatively no stress. Dude, I don't know where I pulled that from, but this roof is actually looking fabulous. Like, I didn't think it was possible for a diagonal roof that I built to look this good. Like, you can kind of see the comparison over there at my other village, and yeah, dude, it doesn't even compare. But now the problem is, how do we make a sort of barn style... Okay, you're right there, just dying off camera, like frickin' hell, man, what are you doing? Yeah, making a barn style kind of entrance diagonally is definitely going to be very hard. Man, I'm actually like completely stumped. I don't know how to do this. Well, that's a good start at least. Let's definitely get something like that going. And dude, actually, I think this is going to look really nice. Let's get something like that. What if we actually put this wall like this? Maybe let's get some fences like so. How are we feeling about that? I don't know. It kind of, it's lacking a bit of detail. Let's get a slab there. Honestly, it's not too bad, but yeah, it's definitely lacking detail. Let me try something like this. Yeah, that just looks kind of weird, honestly. What if we did a single lantern coming down like this from the roof? Honestly, that's not too bad. I kind of like that, actually. That's all right. Maybe let's just put some like trap doors on the walls there for a little bit of detail. Maybe we can even wrap this around to the other side. Oh, dude, that's looking pretty good, actually. What the hell? It's still a little bit under detailed, but honestly, I think that's as good as it's gonna get for a diagonal style barn freaking wall here. Now, I think for this back wall, I'm definitely just going to make it like a straight up plain ass wall. And I think I'll just repeat that for the back as well, because it's literally just facing a wall anyway. It's not really gonna look that good if we have a window here. All right, and there we have it. There's a actually really cool diagonal animal barn. I'm actually so happy with how that turned out. There we go. Just got some of those same details, but without a door here. I think that looks good. And yeah, dude, we have actually a lot of room for activities in here. All right, continuing on with our interior here, I'm going to do something like that, and then just place 2 fence gates there like that. I think that's gonna look pretty good. Chuck a lantern there, why the bloody hell not? I've also gone and grabbed some coarse dirt to sprinkle around in here, because it always looks good for a barn when you just have heaps of coarse dirt on the ground. It makes it look more barn-like, and like they're actually like pooing on the soil and stuff, I guess. I don't really know what it's meant to do. Back out of this front area, I definitely want like heaps of hay bales and just like random various storage stuff. And actually in the barn, why not? We'll put in some more hay bale stacks like this. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. We definitely need more lighting, actually. There we go, not too bad. I'm gonna go grab all of our gentlemen from our pen over here, and oh, this is actually gonna be a freaking pain in the ass, man. I need to fill all of this in. Okay, we might as well well just deal with whatever I'm going to do with this. I don't think I'm going to leave it as a channel. I think I'm going to just connect a bridge up to the mainland here. So yeah, I'll get started on the time lapse of doing that and also moving our cows. After fending off a rabid flaming zombie, I worked on removing all of the previous wooden dock and started replacing it with our stone bridge. I also made sure to fill the gaps beside our path with some dirt too. After connecting the bridge to the mainland, I then began moving our cows over to their brand spanking new home I built for them. I then definitely felt we'd need to connect the path to the barn, so I did just that. Taking a look around, I'd noticed a lot of my crops had fully grown in, so I just spent some time going around to all my crop farms, harvesting all the grown crops and replanting them to get everything fully established. After finalizing the potatoes, I then moved on to the sugarcane rows, and I mean, taking a look at them from this angle, I think they're looking super cool. Finally, we just had the bamboo left to do, which was of course pretty easy to get fully planted in. Dude, this island expansion is shaping up to be the most awesome thing I swear I've ever built, dude. This is looking so good so far. We do still have quite a bit of work left to do though. Over here we've got quite a fair bit of blank space that I'm wanting to fill up with just some various house designs. We've got a little bit more blank space over near the barns and also behind my trading hall over there. But first I think let's get started on this little spot down here. Well, these two spots actually. I think I just want to place in a bunch of regular like kind of villager housing around here. And I have a couple of really cool ideas to get these houses looking absolutely amazing. So let's get started. So for this first spot, I definitely felt a diagonal house would fit perfectly here. And after playing around with the positioning, I eventually got the framework laid out. It was then onto tackling the roof, which ended up being quite a painus in the anus due to the unique shape. I did get there in the end though, using our block palette consisting of oak slabs and deep slate tiles and bricks. Now finally for the walls, I tried adding as much detail as I could, which ended up not being much, so I just supplemented it with some pot plants outside. Moving over to the opposite side, I laid out the frames for the next couple of houses and got started on the first one, which was to be a simple square house. And dude, it's crazy how easy it feels to build a regular house after doing diagonal ones. It's so weird. But yeah, continuing on to the next house, this one was a bit of a tight squeeze, so I ended up having to shrink it down to 6 blocks long so it wasn't directly touching the adjacent house. I finished up all of the detail work for this house and then moved over to the final one for this section, just another simple square house. Now, we did still have quite a bit of space left over in this area, and honestly, I just felt more houses wouldn't look that good, so I just filled it in with some other details. Moving over to the blank section in front of the animal barn, I felt a horse stable would fit in quite nicely for whenever I actually get some horses. The framework took a couple of tries to get right, as I wanted it to feel slightly angled but not actually diagonal, and in the end I'm pretty happy with the shape. I then started on the details and the walls, opting for a pretty open design so it feels more like a horse stable. For the details I added some arches and lanterns at the front along with plenty of scattered hay bales. Now onto the area behind the barn. Once again, I went with another house that was sort of diagonal, and it actually ended up being a massive pain. The frame and the roof was hard to get figured out, but after a lot of destroying and rebuilding, I sort of got there in the end. The walls were also a bit tricky and ended up looking a bit weird, but moving on, the final little section here was a bit too small to fit a full house, so I just built a roofed area that'd house some random stuff. Alright, and with those final houses done, this is how our island is looking so far. And dude, literally this is shaping up to, I know I've already said it, but this is probably the best build overall that I've ever made, I think. This whole area looks so nice, and I think the diagonal houses are definitely what's aiding in making that look really cool as well. But even with all of that, we are definitely still not done. We have this whole area behind our trading hall here. That's actually still farmland, but what I want to do is grab some bloody dirt. Give me a goddamn second. And I'm just going to start filling in all of these water spots, I guess. So I want all of this to turn back into just regular grass, because back here I want to add in a big old blacksmith building. But before we get to that, well, you know, in the meantime, while this is all turning back into grass, what I want to do now is actually completely transform and upgrade our mine entrance here. I want to turn this thing into like a pretty tall tower, and we'll even have storage in there and just random decorations and stuff. Because yeah, I definitely think it's time for a little bit of an overhaul on this tiny little piece of basically rubble here. And so I think I want this thing to mainly consist of stone, of which, yeah, that's pretty much all that I have left to my name. So I'm actually going to head down into the mine here. I'm going to mine out a whole bunch of stone, and then we'll pretty much just get started on the mining tower. All right, so one of my favorite builders is Sword Self MC. They make some truly inspiring builds, but there's just something really special about them. They're honestly pretty blocky and lack a lot of detail, but Sword Self just does such a good job with the shape and gradients and roofs that honestly just make these builds look absolutely absolutely amazing. So I just kind of want to channel that energy and inspiration into this tower, just for something a little bit different. So there's the entire mine entrance destroyed and gone. I've got a bunch of stone and stone bricks that I've just mined out, and I'm going to use these to make a bit of like a textured stone tower. Usually, you know, I love using pillars in builds. I use those to frame out the build, but Sword Self does not do that whatsoever for their like kind of stone towers, at least. They essentially just do like a big rectangle, and it just looks so good, and I'm kind of afraid that it's not going to look good when I do it, so we're going to see how it goes, I guess. But essentially, I want to get the shape down and looking good, and I also want it to be slightly larger than the actual mine entrance so we have some room here. You can see, even just instinctively, I'm placing down freaking pillar blocks, man. Like, Jesus Christ. I need to stop doing that for this build at least. Yeah, so my plan is to literally just make a giant textured rectangle, and I don't know, I'm just gonna kind of figure it out from there, I guess. All right, so you guessed it. I just started building a giant textured rectangle consisting of stone and stone bricks. Once I got to about 10 blocks tall, I started adding some windows, which were just a couple stairs. I also repeated this up every 2 blocks and also on every side of the walls. It was tricky figuring out how tall I wanted this tower to be, and in the end, I decided on raising the stone and stone bricks up to about 15 blocks high, and then started on a bit of a gradient using the new tough bricks and polished tough. They combine well with the stone as it's a pretty similar shade, and to get the gradient looking nice, I made sure to blend it with the stone well. A handy tip with gradients is to make sure you don't have a harsh cutoff line. Like you can see here, I'm making sure to spread stone into the tough side and vice versa with the tough into the stone side. With the body of the tower done, it's time to get started on the roof, first with a couple details using some stairs, fences, and fence gates. I added a ring of oak planks above this and expanded out again with the start of the roof using textured deep slate tiles and bricks. It was then time to create the main shape of the roof, which I did using a bit of a technique I'm working on to get a decent shape. It took a bit of reworking to get looking good, but in the end, I think it turned out really nice. Alright, and there is our tower all completed. Oh my god, I just realized I put that window in wrong. Look at that. Honestly, no, actually, I don't like it. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Okay, let's try again. There we have the completed mine entrance tower, and dude, this thing turned out so good. Look at that. Let's get it in the sun. Oh my god, that's a very bright. But yeah, this thing actually turned out way better than I thought it would. I did also decide on doing a gradient as mentioned in the time lapse. However, I kind of wish I'd like made this go all the way kind of halfway down, not just kind of at the top, but I mean, it still looks pretty good, I guess. So that's the exterior done. Now we have to, of course, head inside and do something with this, because right now it's just a gaping hole on the floor. I would like to get a ladder up in here and a couple of floors with just some various details. Oh my god, this bloke, what is he doing? He's just chilling under the freaking bridge, man. All right, I'm back with a bunch of detailing blocks. First, I do want to just add a little bit of a thing dingle there so that, you know, we can kind of walk around. I think I'll put the ladder on this wall. Why the bloody hell not? I'm just going to have this extend up to about yay. And now it's time to just simply start adding in some floors here. So just give me a second. I will get this floor, and that floor all added in. All right, so first floor down here, I'm definitely thinking just a couple of like various storage blocks are going to look quite nice. Actually, I think we might even replace this barrel with a stone cutter. I don't know, mine, stone cutter, kind of makes sense, I guess. And I do also want to add a lantern here too. And yeah, let's head up to the next floor. I'm going to add in that same lantern. I'm just going to do it up here as well. So up here, I think let's maybe add in a couple of little house plants or tower plants, however you want to call it, I guess. And then maybe let's get like a big table on this side. And I honestly don't really have anything to put on it other than chests. So let's just get some chests sprinkled on here. Man, I really need to like spend some time getting some like actual tabletop decorations, because yeah, honestly, I don't think we're ever going to come up here. So this is just like, I don't know, random details that we don't really need to be doing, I guess. I'm not going to spend a crazy amount of time on them. And well, I guess up here could be like living quarters or something. Maybe let's put like a bed over here. We may as well just get another one of these houseplants in. Why the hell not? Over here could be our crafting. Maybe on this side, a little bit of storage. And there we go. That's just like a cute, quick, and simple little interior built. Oh my god. Okay. Settle down, buddy. Dude, that's when Bane of Arthropods. Bloody hell, it's beautiful. Spiders are actually so annoying to kill. So getting them done in one shot. Oh, okay. This guy, though. Where's frickin' Bane of Creepers when you need it, dude? Why doesn't that exist? I would take that enchantment over sharpness in a goddamn heartbeat. I'm not even kidding. That is our big, beautiful tower, fully done, fully furnished. Now, all that's left to do is our blacksmith building that I have planned to add in right here. And well, I think what I'm gonna do is maybe head over to Google and get a good reference image and just build this based on a reference, because I think that's gonna be pretty cool. All right, and just a cool tip, if you're ever looking for some reference on Google like I am right now, and you don't wanna be, you know, using other people's people's Minecraft builds like this. I kind of just want to use reference that looks more like this, where it's like a 3D model or something. All you have to do up here is just type in -Minecraft. And now that is going to show basically all of the listings that basically, yeah, don't have the name Minecraft in them. So say for instance, maybe you didn't want Lego as well. So you could type in after that -Lego. And now you're pretty much only going to see like 3D models, nothing that has like Minecraft or Lego. So yeah, I'm going to spend some time trying to find a really cool looking reference here, and then we'll get started on the time lapse. All right, so here is the reference I ended up choosing, and after getting a bit of landscape done, I got straight into getting the positioning and framework laid out. Next, I began filling in the first floor walls with some textured stone and stone bricks, and then started on the left side supports that'd hold up the second floor, as well as getting all of the second floor pillars established. With all the pillars laid out, I moved on to adding in the first wall design, complete with some pot plants, until realizing there was actually a big old chimney going here, so I replaced it with that instead. As for the rest of the walls, I just added in a pretty simple design consisting of 2 windows per wall, each with a pot plant below with an oak sapling and a daisy. Now up to the roof, I went with the matching block palette for every other building on my island just to keep it consistent, which is an oak trim using slabs and stairs, and then textured deep slate bricks and tiles for the main body of the roof. With the front side done, I completely filled in the back side and then transitioned down to the interior to replace the ground with stone and stone bricks, as well as lowering the floor 1 block as well. Now back to the outside, we had a roofed area just in front of the chimney we had to add in, and first I built a stone and stone brick foundation, followed by a roof of oak slabs and trapdoors. I then just moved on to some general detailing, and you'll have to excuse this fence post that blocks the view for a second, my apologies. So on this left side, I added a bunch of fences and fence gates, and then went around the entirety of the building and added these support things in front of every pillar that hold up the roof, I guess. I also added a couple barrels and chests to this wall here. Alright, and there is the exterior for our blacksmith build all done. This thing turned out super awesome and super different from my usual style as well. Pretty much all thanks to the reference I was following. Now, continuing following that reference, we do have a furnace out here that is connected to this big old chimney. So let's get started adding this in. And then I want to build up this entire like left side kind of to match the chimney so we have something symmetrical. And that looks way too big. Okay, never mind. We're not making it symmetrical anymore. We're just gonna do something like that. Yeah, that looks way better. All right, and well, this isn't actually in the reference, but my next idea is to just kind of detail this outside area a little bit. So I want to put some stripped logs here for a bit of a table, and then I kind of want to have 2 like workstations on each side. So let's get an anvil placed here. We'll get one on the other side too. And then I want to add some like dunking buckets or quenching buckets. I can't remember what they're actually called, but okay. So there is our quenching buckets done. And this little outside workstation area is looking awesome. I definitely do want to maybe get some that is not what I meant to do. Extinguish logs off to the side as if they're kind of fuel for this furnace here. That looks good though. I'm happy with that. Let's go inside, god damn it. Well, first up, I definitely do need to get a bit of a ceiling added in, so let's get that slapped in real quick. And I kind of want the downstairs to be a little bit more of like an extended workspace from over here. So maybe let's place some, they're not lanterns, what the hell am I saying? Place some anvils there, and then we'll get like a big old table at the back once again. And I'm just gonna make a couple more things. Give me a second. All right, I'm back with a couple of different items. The first being some item frames and some of my old tools, because yeah, I want to just detail the hell out of this area. Back over this way, I want to add in a couple of little sinks, maybe in this corner here. Then something I like doing in like blacksmith areas is having kind of like these racks that hold items like that. And then in there, I can just put in maybe like this freaking bow that I just got from a skeleton I killed and some of my old iron tools. Now over in this corner could maybe be some like wood storage for like fuel for the furnace outside. And I guess this is going to be kind of the like living quarters. And well, I need a bed for that. So I'm gonna have to go frickin' hunt down some goddamn sheep. Give me a second, I'll be back. Okay, I am back with a bed and a couple other things. Now, the only problem is where the hell do we add a bed? And I think maybe there is gonna be the most logical position. I also did grab a bunch of composters and some leaves to add some house plants just in kind of every corner of the house, because it just, man, they look so nice, okay? Now, just to add a little bit of depth to this, because it is like a very flat kind of thing, some oak signs are going to look very nice there. Bang, bang, there we go. Now we have a little gap here for like a table. Let's chuck on, I don't know, a goddamn campfire. Beside the bed here, let's have some bedside tables, and then maybe just some more like general storage kind of beside these. I guess just as a final little detail, maybe like a stone cutter over here. I'm very happy with this interior and the downstairs and the exterior. Dude, this is looking awesome. All right, and so that is pretty much going to do it for our island upgrade of this episode. We got so much stuff done, and if you want to download and explore explore this entire island for yourself, as well as any other builds in this world like my village over there and my aesthetic farms back there, be sure to check out my Patreon as the downloads are all available over there. There's a, well, quite frankly, ugly ass ravine right next to my beautiful automatic farms, and I figured it's time to transform it into a massive mining operation. Now, I know what you're thinking, Disruptive, you just upgraded your mine entrance last episode. Yeah, don't worry about it, shut up, okay? This one's gonna be way bigger and way better, complete with minecart rails, a giant smelting tower, and a big old stinking ravine we gotta transform, so let's get to it. Alright, and so the first thing I'm going to need to do is a lot of terraforming over there, and you can see my shovel is, it's in shambles at the moment. You guys are going to be surprised, I've been doing some extracurricular activity off camera. It's been like, you know, a lot of work, about 2 minutes. I just got a villager through here, and I've dropped him off over here, and, well, yeah, he's not frickin' taking his goddamn job block for some reason. Oh, there we go, it's because of that trapdoor. And, yeah, so I'm really wanting to just get mending from this guy, so yeah, this is gonna be a pain in the ass because, oh my god, why is he doing this, man? I don't know why he's not taking the job, like, until like a minute. Fuck me, man. And yeah, well, you know what? I just want to get started building. I don't feel like dealing with this guy. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna spend some goddamn diamonds and repair my shovel manually, okay? I mean, I got bloody plenty of them, as you can see. Let's head over to the old blacksmith and get this bad boy repaired. Bang! Look at that. Yes, it's already done. Oh, dude, that's so good. All right, it is now a brand spanking new day. Let's head over to the spot and get a little bit of a scouting going on and see what we have to deal with. All right, so here we are at my beautiful aesthetic automatic farms. I'm not gonna lie, I have not checked any of these since I built them. Let's see how the iron's going. Oh. Okay, well, that's not very great. I think it's mainly because these are probably out of range of where I usually am, so they're not really working most of the time. Let's check out the old sugarcane. Oh, all right. Okay, buddy, that's just ridiculous. We have literally nothing. Maybe I need to increase this simulation distance. Let's make this like 32. Hopefully that doesn't lag the crap out of my world. All right, but enough of this. That's old news, okay? We want to get started on the new stuff. And yeah, so while I was figuring out what to do for this next episode, which is mainly why I haven't posted a hardcore episode in a while, is that, yeah, I was surveying the landscape around here and I came across this quite frankly disgusting ass ravine. Like, this thing is putrid, brother. Look at it. It doesn't even go that far down. We've got a bunch of water we have to... Oh, man, I really don't want to have to deal with this. But yeah, I really want to turn this into, like, just a massive, like, mining operation. If we just zoom in here, it's kind of the perfect spot for it. And yeah, so the first step is going to be clearing out all of this water, clearing out all this dirt, and making this go down at least a little bit further, and probably just prepping the nearby landscape as well for the buildings I have planned. So yeah, let's get started with the goddamn time lapse. All right, so my first plan of attack in making this ravine look better was to widen this area by a few blocks as well as get it a bit deeper. I then had a better idea for clearing out the water at the back of the ravine. Okay, so instead of clearing out all of that water by hand, I've just decided to come out to this nearby ocean in hopes of finding a sponge room in an ocean monument. And so I've just found a monument here, and yeah, this might be a really stupid idea, but I'm gonna just go in there and hope that I can find a freaking sponge room. And that, yeah, there doesn't seem to be any of the guardians here for some reason, so kind of just hoping I can get in here before they all spawn in. Now, I don't have any blocks that I can use to freaking... Oh, I have a door, yes. Okay, let's get in here. I don't know why there's no... Oh my fucking god, you're kidding me. That scared the absolute crap out of me. Okay, breathe. I have no idea where to look for this. Oh, and it's just given me... Oh my god, you're kidding. Why would it give me mining fatigue? That sucks. Look at how slow this is. This might have been the dumbest idea I've ever had in my life, dude. This is just not gonna work. Please be something on the other side of this wall. Oh, dude. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come back with a bunch of buckets of milk. I'm gonna come back with some better armor as well, and we're gonna try and tackle this. Because I really want some sponges. I think this is literally gonna take longer than just clearing out that ravine water manually. Alright, we've made it back home. It is now time to make some diamond armor finally. Like, what episode is this? Like episode 5 or something? Jesus Christ, man. Yes, okay. We've finally upgraded. Let's get this crap off and get this crap on. Yes, look at that. Beautiful. All right, now I have enough levels to actually enchant one single piece. So let's head up here. Yeah, I think we might actually do the helmet. And protection 3, yes, that is sweet. Okay, I'm here, boys. Well, I should probably say ladies. There we go, we got our milk. And well, I'm hoping this plan is going to work. So yeah, I'm gonna meet you guys back at the ocean monument and we'll see what we can do. Let's get the hell bloody back in here and pray that we can find this freaking sponge. Yeah, for some reason, my little sounds mod, it makes a little cow noise when I pick up milk buckets. That's so cute and weird though. All right, so let's continue searching for this freaking sponge room, man. It would be really good if there was one here. I'm praying that there is. Oh, what is that? I think this is the treasure room, isn't it? From my research. Oh, look at that. We've got gold. Yes, yes, yes. Not that it's the most useful thing in the world to me right now, but I will take it. Oh my fucking god, you little shithead. Okay, this is when we take our milk. Okay, look at that. Yes, we're back. Is that it? It's just gold blocks. Okay, that stinks. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue looking for this freaking sponge room, man. Oh my god, you're kidding. You're actually joking. It's right here. All right, I'm going to collect all of these mushrooms. Mushrooms? What the fuck am I saying? I'm going to collect... Oh, you fucking bastard. These things piss me off, man. I'm going to collect all of these sponges. I'll meet you guys back at the time lapse. All right, we are back at the ravine with our sponges, and I just kind of want to experience this with you guys. Here we go. Oh my god, dude, yes. So why is that instantly just refilling? That's kind of annoying. All right, I'm going to continue doing this as a time lapse, and we'll also continue shaping the rest of this ravine. So yeah, let's get to it. Once I figured out a better way to use the sponges, it was actually super easy to clear out the water. Unfortunately, I messed up my recording here, but I pretty much just used walls to section off the water. Continuing my excavation of the ravine, I did end up getting a couple supervisors, just making sure that the shape was coming along nicely. And now the final step was to fix up the very top sides of the ravine to get it looking a bit more natural. All right, and here is our brand new ravine, definitely looking way nicer than it did before. Here's a look from afar. Yeah, it's definitely just looking a little bit more like a ravine now. It's still not too deep, but I'm not too fussed with that. I mean, we can always expand deeper if we want to in the future, but I'm happy with that for now. And so the next step is going to be getting a bunch of buildings established around both of the sides of this ravine. And honestly, I don't know what I want to start with, eh? So I do have a bit of a sketch that I'll probably show here just for my plans of the different kinds of buildings I want. And I think I'm going to start with this one, which is like the minecart kind of station building. And so that is going to be built right about over here. We're gonna have to do a little bit more landscape flattening. And honestly, I have no idea what I want to build this out of as well. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll flatten this off and I'll go get a bunch of resources. I'm not gonna bother doing a time lapse just because, you know, it's kind of boring crap. And I'm gonna meet you guys back here with this brand spanking new flattened off location, and we'll get started building. Okay, we are now back. I've got a bunch of resources in these chests, and I've also flattened off the area that we're going to be working on. And so yeah, it is now just time to get started building our minecart station. So I'm going to use this mod here to get the positioning as good as I can get it. All right, I'm thinking right here is going to be good for the front left corner. And so my plan for this minecart station is to have like a kind of andesite building, and then we're going to have like a wooden building on top of that to make it look more like a little station. And so at the front here, I'm wanting to have like 3 big entrances for the minecart rails to come in and out of, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, dude, that is going to look awesome having a bunch of rails coming out of there and then just kind of leading over here and going down the mine. So now I need to get the size of this figured out. All right, so I'm thinking that's going to be pretty good, and then I'll just bring this over this way and back over that way. All right, so there is the first floor pretty much done, except for the details, of course, with some of those being basically, yeah, I want to add some like trap doors along these areas here. And then I think what'll look nice is beside them having some bloody signs as well, like that. Yeah, something like that. That looks pretty nice. We could also maybe even slap some lanterns in these little archways here just to brighten it up a bit. All right, yeah, so those details actually really turned out awesome, especially this last one that I've just added in. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one right there. So yeah, that's looking good so far, but actually up top here, I want to add a secondary little structure. Well, instead of just bloody showing you what I want to do, let's actually just build it. Let's get these replaced with some actual oak logs here. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the main structure. We do have obviously the interior down there to do, and I'll probably just get the rest done as a time lapse. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so after getting the back top wall here all done, I moved straight onto creating the roof, opting for an interesting shape using polished andesite for the trim. I added some extra segments of polished andesite aligned with the pillars, and then filled out the rest of the roof with textured deep slate tiles and bricks. I then added some railings for this top area, deciding on some upside down stone stairs. It was then time for the arduous task of replacing all of the surrounding grass with some textured stone and stone bricks, which would definitely aid in making the area feel a lot more like a mining operation. With the outside done, I moved straight into doing the exact same for the interior, which was where all of the minecarts and rails would lead to for theoretically dropping off people or resources. I then built up the interior, leading all the rails down to a platform, along with getting some extra outside rails established as well. I then moved straight onto, once again, replacing more of the grass with stone and stone bricks, and this is where all of those minecart rails would lead down into the ravine mine entrance. Continuing those rails down, I opted to build a wooden minecart rail support, which would then lead those rails down to the bottom of the mine where they could park and, you know, grab resources and stuff like that. Okay, and there it is. There is the first building set up for the mining operation, the minecart rail, what is it called again? Station. Yeah, minecart station building. And yeah, along with that, we've obviously got all of our minecart rails set up. These lead all the way down into the mine to pick up resources, come back up here and drop them off at the minecart station. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. Obviously, we are lacking in a lot of details. I'm thinking I'm probably just wanting to mainly block out all of these buildings first, and then towards the end, I will just kind of go through everything with a bunch of details like, you know, these standard chests, barrels, piles of ores and rocks and stuff like that. Right, and so yeah, that leads us on to now the next building. Once again, taking a look at my very rough and ugly sketch. Over towards this side, we do have like the admin building that I wanted to do, but I don't feel like it's actually going to fit in nicely here, and I think I'm wanting to replace that blacksmith with the admin building kind of down towards this way. If we take a look with the ortho camera mod, I'm kind of wanting this to be, you know, balanced, I guess. And so I feel like having an admin building actually like alongside these rails is going to look quite nice. So we might kind of build it up like right around here, like just a kind of standard rectangular shaped building. And then we'll pretty much be good to go to get started on the left side over here, which is going to have some really cool stuff. So yeah, I think let's just close off this side for now with that admin building. And yeah, let's get started right now. Right, dude, this is actually pissing me off. I cannot find the reference for this like kind of building style that I'm thinking of. Like nothing I've searched is working, and it's quite frustrating. So I've delved deep into my brain, and I've actually just figured out exactly what I'm thinking of. And it's this specific building from Escape from Tarkov on the customs map. This portable cabin building here. This is this is like exactly what I'm wanting to build right here. Like Jesus Christ, man. I don't know why this is so hard to find. Let's see if portable bunkhouse. Yes, okay, so that's what it's called. It's called a portable bunkhouse. So yeah, let's actually get started on the time lapse right now. Starting off the portable cabin building, I first got the base created using textured granite and polished granite, and this layer is meant to be a shipping container of sorts. Once that layer was completed, I moved on to creating the next one, this time using diorite and polished diorite for some nice contrast to the bottom floor. I added in a slab roof and then decided on adding an outline to the top floor using polished deep slate, which definitely helped define the shape a bit better. I added in various details throughout, like some iron bar windows and a couple of barrels down below. I then decided on extending out the bottom floor slightly, along with adding a pallet and crafting table on top. Okay, and there is the little portable admin building completed. I actually really love how this turned out. It is super cute. I definitely do need to get more details scattered around this. Like I said before, I will get that done towards the end of the video, but I'm really happy with the little details we have so far in there. And yeah, that looks awesome, and that's pretty much going to complete this right side of the mining operation for now. What I want to do next is that, yeah, you can see I've got a bunch of stone on me. I'm probably going to have to frickin' go mine more soon, because that's all I have left. But I want to get this massive, like, smelting tower building built. And so the cool thing about this is it's actually going to extend like half into the mine ravine and then half out of it as well. So I'm probably going to have it start like right about here where I'm standing and then go out to about there. I mean, you're going to see it in a second anyway when I start this goddamn time lapse. And yeah, it's pretty much just going to be built out of stone and stone bricks. I'm going to use these stairs as well to add like a little bit of texture in there, like some chipped out like blocks and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to get started figuring out how big I actually want this thing to be. And yeah, we'll get started on the time lapse once again right now. All right, so I ended up deciding on a size of 11 by 11 blocks, half extending into the ravine and half on the land, which I think will make for a pretty interesting design. And well, after getting a decent bit built, I felt it was a little too large, so I ended up reducing the size down to 9 by 9, which definitely looked a bit better. I then just simply continued extending all of the walls up using our textured stone and stone bricks, as well as adding plenty of segments containing stairs just to make it look like some of the bricks were missing, and that little detail really helps make it look a little bit more interesting than just a plain old tower. Now to finish it off, I added a ring of stairs and slabs and filled in the entire top inside with some campfires. And now for the interior, of course I added a bunch of furnaces as well as plenty of storage blocks with some chests and barrels. Alright, dude, I just want to say this area is actually coming along so much nicer than I thought it would. Like just standing here, this looks so cool. I love these rails, especially the 3D rail texture pack thing that I'm using. Fuck me, what's it called? Raised 3D bloody rails. It looks beautiful, man. Look at it. And yeah, so the new build is definitely looking really nice. We have our big smelting tower here. The interior, yeah, it's a little bit lackluster. I'm not gonna kizzy cap on you guys right now. All right, so yeah, here's a look from afar, and I'm feeling, honestly, I don't know, like in my original sketch, my warehouse was planned to go right yonder and kind of extend out this way, but I feel like it's just a little bit too far away from everything. So I might actually, you know, it's gonna be like that. I was gonna rotate it 90 degrees this way, so this is the front here, and just place it like along here, and I think that's gonna look a little bit better, you know, like that. All right, and well, getting straight into the time-lapse, the first thing I did was smoothen off the terrain a bit and then work on getting the framework laid out. I decided on going with a 1930s style factory warehouse building, meaning my block palette was going to consist of a lot of bricks and granite as well as andesite for the roof. As for these side walls, I went with big open doors, and for the back and front walls, I added some windows in. I then just repeated those different wall designs on every side of the warehouse, as well as getting some polished granite stairs placed alongside the pillars. Next up, it was onto the roof, starting with the one on the right side. I ended up deciding on using polished andesite for the trim and regular ass andesite for the main body, which I feel definitely gives a unique look. And to make the trim stand out a bit more, I opted on insetting the main roof below the trim slightly. For the topmost roof, I changed the shape quite drastically, and I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. And for the final part of the warehouse, I simply filled in the rest of the walls on the second story. And now it was time for the painful task of adding in the textured floor consisting of, once again, stone and stone bricks. I wanted this to extend around the factory a decent bit, as well as up towards the smelting tower. Alright, and there is our area again so far. I know I keep saying it, but dude, our area, it's coming along so much more nicely now with that building. Like, holy crap, I think this is probably the best, like, factory-style building I've ever made. I'm not gonna cap on a stack. But, you know, this area isn't gonna go... But this area... Fuck, man, what is wrong with me? But this area is not going to be complete without its own little crane right here. So I've added a little platform for it to stick out onto, and I'm going to just start building my signature style crane design here. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Alright, so we're going to extend this bad boy up quite a bit, and up here we're just going to start adding some random stuff on. It's going to make sense in a second, just trust me. Alright, so there is our random stuff so far. The first thing we're going to do at the back here is we're going to add like a little counterweight for our crane, like that, which looks, yeah, pretty cool. And now at the front here, we're going to add like a little pulley system that's going to, you know, be the actual crane part, I guess. So we're going to add 2 grindstones like that. We're going to add some chains between them, and then we're also going to add some more chains that will kind of dangle down. And then that is where our actual little thing is going to be held onto. I want to make sure that's a nice distance down. That looks pretty good to me. And so now on here, we're going to add a little platform that's going to be, well, theoretically holding all of the crap. So I want it to be like a sort of pallet, I guess. And so a good way to make that is... God, Jesus Christ. Some extinguished campfires like so. And that's looking pretty good, but I want it to feel a little bit more contained, you know, like all the stuff that's going to be on it would not just randomly fall off. So we're going to add some signs around this. You could also use trapdoors, but they're a bit too expensive for my taste, so signs work well as well. And there we go, that's looking pretty good. And we have a couple extra details to slap onto our thingamajig here, like some of these signs around. Oh my god, man. This is pissing me off. Keep freaking typing in the signs like a moron. Yeah, just some stuff like that. Makes it kind of look like it's supported. I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, there's our little crane. That looks awesome. And well, the next detail that we're going to be adding around the entire place is going to be some piles of ores. And well, as you can see, there's a lot of ores that I've exposed down here. And so I'm going to use my Silk Touch pickaxe to just grab up pretty much as much of these as I can. We've got a bunch of different types. We've got lapis, we've got copper, coal, iron. It's going to look awesome once we're done. So I'm just going to mine all of these up, and I'll meet you guys back at the top. All right, and well, before we actually get started adding those details in, I feel like I want to get one more building created. Another one of these little admin bunkhouse buildings actually over on this side as well. It's just taking a look from afar. I don't know. I feel like just putting a bunch of like ore piles and stuff here won't look as good as another one of those buildings. I actually really like how this looks, and I feel like it's going to look quite nice just having another one on this side. So yeah, I'm going to just quickly build another one of these as a time lapse right now. All right, and well, I'll keep this one brief because it's essentially the exact same build as the first one, but essentially we got it built on the opposite side of the minecart rails as if they're kind of supervising the tracks, I guess. All right, and there we go. That is looking really good. Now let's take a look from afar. Yeah, that's looking a lot more cohesive with those two buildings there. I'm really happy with that. And well, that leads us onto the next thing, which is going to be adding a crap load of details to this entire area. So I've got a bunch of different blocks on me. I've got andesite, cobbled deep slate, diorite, and I've got stairs and slabs in those blocks as well, because I want to basically add just like kind of piles of those blocks essentially everywhere. You know, this place is going to be just basically mining out every single thing that they can get their hands on, and I feel like that is going to be a really good detail for this, you know, kind of build. So there's a couple of piles done, and as for the kind of ore blocks, I'm wanting to get these mainly kind of out front of this warehouse. I think it's going to look really nice having them here. So let's get a big old stinking coal pile here. Now it kind of sucks we can't obviously get slabs and stairs of these. It would look really nice if we could, but that's okay. we'll make do with what we got. Let's get some copper over here, maybe like a little bit of iron over yonder as well. Okay, that looks like crap. Never mind. We'll do something like that instead. Maybe even get some copper in with that, and then maybe even a couple of pieces of lapis over here. We do have a lot of coal to spare, so let's maybe get a bit of that strewn around over here. Maybe even a little bit up over yonder as well. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Now, I also do have a lot of different mine carts, as you can see, and I think these are going to look really nice just kind of added throughout the entire build, like kind of everywhere. Let's maybe chuck one over here as well. Actually, these do look really nice when they're kind of placed in amongst these little like ore piles like that. Yeah, that looks good. We could definitely get some on the actual rails as well, like maybe kind of just along here like that. And definitely some kind of like off to the side as well of these rails will look really cool too. Get maybe one there too. Yeah, that's looking awesome. Okay, I'm going to continue adding these kinds of details pretty much throughout the entire build. I'm also going to get more of like kind of these big barrel piles and chests and stuff added throughout as well. So yeah, let's get to it. First up, I continued adding various piles of blocks and stuff on the right side of the ravine. It was then that I realized I hadn't actually created a way down the mine without taking a minecart, so the obvious course of action was to create a wooden staircase down. I then continued adding heaps of various details throughout the warehouse with things like piles of stone, barrels, chests, coal, and plenty more decorations until it was completely filled. I then added some various details down in the ravine like some supports and plenty more just random little details on the right side of the mine. Alright, and there it is. There is the fully completed mine, and dude, holy crap. Oh, man, this thing turned out so good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this actually turned out way better than I thought it would, and I know I say that a lot, but I actually mean it this time, okay? This thing turned out really cool. And so, as always, with all of the builds in my hardcore world, and well, all of the builds on my channel, you can download this on my Patreon and explore it for yourself if you want to. Back on episode 2 of this series, I started building the village I've always wanted, and now it's finally time to finish it. I've got some pretty big plans on how to expand this village and all different kinds of builds to add, so let's get started. So, you won't believe it, but I actually did some research for this video. That research included one Google search and clicking the first link to discover some of the actual types of buildings and facilities that were in actual medieval villages, and we're going to be adding a whole heap of them to complete my village over here. But before we can get to that, most of my resources have been completely dried up from the past episode, meaning I'm going to have to go collect a bunch more resources, including some wood and stone, and probably a bit of deep slate too. So back over here at the mine that we made last episode, I just wanted to quickly check my little resource chest to make sure I didn't leave anything behind. Oh, okay. Oh, we actually have some stuff. All right, well, that saves us a bit of time, which is pretty good. But yeah, I'm still gonna need plenty of wood and plenty of stone, so I'm gonna get all of that stuff harvested real quick right now. Okay, I am back. I finally have all the resources. Well, probably gonna have to get a lot more. And well, I have a lot of plans for upgrades for this village, but I do want to start a little bit small, you know, and I just want to get started with a little bit of like a workshop kind of area, maybe right about here. So first off, I'm just gonna clear off a little bit of this dirt here, just so we have a little bit more room. Yeah, something like that is pretty good. Let's get rid of some of these freaking flowers too. And I don't want this to be like an actual building. I'm probably going to, well, not probably, I am going to just make this kind of like an undercover area, as I think that will look quite nice. So we're just going to outline the corners with something like this. Now, as for the roof, I have a crap load of trapdoors and slabs here, and I'm just wanting to add like a simple kind of slab and trapdoor roof, I guess. So we'll have our trapdoors along the sides, and then I'll fill the rest in with slabs like so. And then we have our little undercover area. I'm definitely going to replace all of the blocks here with, oh, I kind of want gravel actually. I feel like gravel will be a nice like kind of floor block. So I'm gonna have to go harvest some of that by hand, because having fortune on a shovel, it's actually kind of annoying for getting gravel, because you literally only get flint. And the annoying thing is all of this is underwater too, so it's gonna be even more annoying. But yeah, see, you literally just get flint every single time. So give me like 5 minutes and I'll hopefully get enough gravel for the floor. All right, that shit was just way too painful, so I'm just gonna texture it in with some stone. I feel like that's gonna look better anyway. Yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty nice. Now I want to add in some decorations and stuff under here, for which I already have a few gathered. Like I want to use some polished andesite for like some tables here, and then I might set up like a little bit of a furnace kind of area there. I do want some anvils kind of spread across throughout here like that. Then some extra little decorations. We could add some campfires kind of just strewn across here as if like they're kind of firewood for these furnaces. Maybe get a crafting table, maybe add it over here. And I mean, what is a work area without some chests and bloody barrels as well, of course? Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I like like that. We'll get some lanterns added in here too, and bang, there we go. There's our little workshop area looking awesome. And just off to the side of this, I do want to add in a little bit of a well as well. And so I think for this, I can kind of just go with a design kind of like this. Because yeah, a lot of medieval like cities and villages, of course, had wells for their water supply, of course. I feel like it's kind of silly to have a village without one. So there we have our pillars established. I need to go grab a little bit of deep slate for the roof here, and we can get something a little bit like this going. Actually, what is my kind of roof layout for these buildings? I kind of want to follow that. So we have a wood trim, not deep slate trim. I'm a bit of an idiot, eh? So I really like this kind of roof design for wells, where we have the kind of, I don't know how to freaking explain it, man, but like it's not just a straight line for the trim here. It goes in and then out and then back in at the front. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll just put some slabs on these blocks and then fill the rest of the roof up with some deep slate like so. And then just cap it off with some slabs up at the top. And we'll see how that looks from afar. Yeah, it's not too bad. It definitely does look kind of weird. That's all right, actually, from this angle. That's fine. Down below here, we'll get some fence gates in between all of these like that. And then down in here is where, you know, we'll add the actual well stuff. And then we'll fill this bad boy up with a little bit of water. Then we can add some chains hanging from the top here down into a simple little cauldron and fill that up with some water. And there we go. We have our little like bucket that, you know, you winch down to collect water and stuff. And there we go. That's it. A simple little well design, nice and easy, and looks good as well. All right. So with the first two simple little additions made, it's time to move on to something a little bit bigger. And I'm planning on having this over on the left side of the village over here, kind of in this little valley in between the, you know, the little hills here. And actually right here on this mound of grass, I'm thinking a nice mine entrance would work perfectly. And out here, we can have like a crane and a bunch of cool little decorations and details. I know I built a mine in the last bloody episode, and the episode before that I built a mining tower, but you know, this village needs a mine too, and I love building mines, so shut the bloody hell up, okay? So I'll build this one as a nice little time lapse. Yeah, so let's just get straight into it. All right, first and foremost, I got to excavating out our mine entrance, as I did need a bit of cobblestone, which I used in making our entrance feel a bit more like a chunk of rock that was mined out. I then used the rest of that cobblestone along with some stone to add in a big foundation for the mine. After that, it was onto, of course, a big old crane that would theoretically be used to move stuff around and onto carts and such. Finishing up, I slightly expanded the area for the mine along with adding plenty of piles of cobble and andesite along with some barrels and chests. Okay, and there is the mine all completed and looking beautiful. Dude, all of these extra little details really just help pull it together so much, especially the mine carts and the minecart rails. Like, dude, it looks so much better with all of them. Here's a look from the ortho camera mod perspective. So yeah, if you couldn't tell already, I'm kind of building like just an extra ring of details around the village. Starting at the front there, now we've gone up to the left, and now it's time to move up to the kind of back area of the village, where I want to add a bunch of different specialized kind of buildings. And so that next one, which is going to be just kind of above the mine here, kind of around in this area, is going to be the blacksmith. I'm gonna have to clear a bunch of trees, and the cool thing is I also want a little bit of a crop field kind of right beside this as well, and I want it to sprawl all the way up around here in front of the mine, which I think is gonna look really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of landscape flattening here, because right now this is pretty hilly and not very workable at the moment. So I might take off this layer of dirt and then just kind of smoothen everything off to get a nice kind of flat area to work on. So just give me a minute and I'll get this all done. All right, so here is our new area, and for this blacksmith, I actually went and found this really cool reference picture. Like, dude, this thing, holy crap, looks freaking awesome, and I pretty much want to try and just recreate this in Minecraft. So let's get started on the positioning, which I'm thinking maybe about here is going to be perfect. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna make this thing freaking big, okay? I was gonna do 3 blocks in between, but we're going with bloody 5, okay? And then we're gonna go something like that. Dude, this thing... okay, this is gonna be way bigger than I thought it was, but oh well, who freaking cares? It's gonna look awesome. And yeah, dude, I love planning out buildings like this. I mean, you guys... if you've watched any of my videos, you know I plan all of my buildings like this. I don't use wall or any of that crap. We just use the pillars. That way you don't have to go back and remove crap afterwards. You know, like, it's easy enough to remove some, like, pillars and just replace them wherever you want. But I mean, once you've gotten the layout perfect, you can just expand those pillars up when you need to. So this first floor here is actually going to have stone walls with wooden pillars. Usually I just do fully stone, but in our reference picture, we have those wood pillars running, you know, alongside the stone there. And I think that is actually going to look really cool once once we get that fully added in. So that's going to be the height there for the first floor. Actually, once we add these pillars in, I don't know. I feel like this might be too short for the first floor. Yeah, it looks a bit weird how short this is compared to the width. So I think we're going to extend these pillars up one block higher, just so it doesn't look weird. And at the same time, I will work on adding these pillars along the tops as well. And adding these pillars like kind of along the top just helps kind of separate that second floor from the first floor and just makes it a bit easier to tell between them, you know? Also, even though it's not really on the reference, I love adding my little sticky outy bits. It just makes it so easy to add details to these pillars. Like you can have stairs there, trapdoor underneath, or you can have fences, or, you know, any combination of that kind of stuff. But yeah, as for our windows and walls here, I have some oak fences and some stone bricks and stone, and we're just going to pretty much be using all of this for our windows and such. And so we'll do something like this, where we have two separated windows like so. Yeah, there we go. There's our wall design looking pretty good. Actually, I just realized this is where our staircase is going to be, so we're not going to have any goddamn windows here. So we'll get this bad boy filled up completely, and then this is where we're actually going to be starting our staircase up, which I think might even start in line with our pillar here. Let's get back to the walls here. Where we have our 3-block wide walls, we'll obviously just do one window like so, and then I think here we'll have our doorway. Oh, of course, I forgot my freaking door, man. God damn it. All right, there we go. That is beautiful. And now over on this wall here, we'll actually have our little furnace kind of thing sticking out. And I think, yeah, dude, this is going to turn out pretty cool. So we'll have our wall actually stick out a little something like this. And then I got to figure out how to add a roof onto there. And then this opening here will have our actual furnace that we'll be using, or, you know, theoretically using to smelt stuff with. So we'll leave it a nice curved kind of opening like that for our furnace. And I'm gonna quickly hit the bloody hay. We actually do have a balcony that kind of sticks out from this spot here, so I kind of need to figure out how to add that on. The roof will be pretty similar to our other buildings here because I don't want to kind of do anything too different or it'll look a bit out of place. So yeah, what I think I'll do now is just finish this off with another bit of a time lapse starting right now. Alright, so first off, I got the external smelter thing all built. It ended up looking a bit weird, but moving on to the rest of the blacksmith building, I continued expanding the foundation upwards along with getting the diorite walls added in with some glass pane windows for fanciness. I added the balcony onto this side of the building and then finished off all of the extra details that were needed along the pillars. Once that was done, I moved straight up to the roof, making sure to repeat a similar design to the rest of the village so it didn't look too like out of place or anything. With the roof completed, I headed back down to finish off the bottom floor walls that I'd kind of forgotten about, along with filling in the staircase and the ceiling for the second floor. Alright, now it is time to tackle the interior, of which I'm going to want a little bit of lava for, and man, I forgot how freaking cool this place is. This is my lava dripstone farm, and all the rest of my super aesthetic farms. Dude, I love this place, man. And I'm just gonna collect a couple of buckets of lava, and yeah, let's head back on over. All right, we are back at the blacksmith. Let's head on inside, and yeah, with this lava, I actually want to add it right along here, just before I get a couple of pieces of stone added in, like a lava smelting thing for inside and outside, which is, yeah, pretty cool. Back on the outside here, we could add maybe like a little bit of an outdoor area, just something like this, and maybe a cauldron with some water. I need to go get some bloody water. Give me a second. There we go. Now we have like a little outdoor workstation. Super cute. Let's head back on inside and just kind of decorate the crap out of this area in here. So down here is going to kind of be like the workshop, I guess. So I think what I want to do, maybe right in front of our smithing kind of like lava station thing, I'll get a bunch of anvils kind of, ooh, how do I want to lay these out? We might just get 2 like that, and then we'll have our dunking buckets here. Let's fill these bad boys up with some water like that. Yeah, that's a cool little area there. We'll definitely get some lanterns hanging up in here, because cool bloody blimey is it dark in here. There we go, that's much better. And now over off to the left side here, we can just have like a massive like workbench kind of area. Maybe get an extra anvil placed in here, maybe like some chests and barrels off to this side, just a little something like that. We could even maybe just have some barrels hanging up on this kind of area as well, just something like that. I've also got a couple of armor stands. We could add some maybe like, I don't know, maybe over here. Maybe we could have one off in this corner like that. Actually, that looks kind of weird. Now, some extinguished campfires are always in order, okay? Great bloody little details those bastards are. And yeah, that's a pretty cute little simple blacksmith interior. I'm liking that, pretty cool. And now upstairs is going to be like the living quarters, of course. So, well, I'm gonna have to go get a couple of beds and a bunch more decorations. So give me a second, I'll meet you guys back here. All right, so I'm back, and up here I'm thinking a little bit of a ceiling kind of like this is going to look super nice. We'll add some extra beams in there and then kind of just fill these gaps in here. Yeah, dude, that is looking so much much better. We can slap some lanterns on there too. Bang, dude. Look at that, so much better. Now, I did get a bunch of beds, of course, so let's add those in. I'm thinking above the bed here, just the classic bloody stack of barrels like this. Now, I've got a couple of composters and some leaves to add some indoor houseplants like that. I do have a couple of carpets too, so we can add some in the middle of the house, kind of like that. And now, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of all I've prepared in terms of details, other than just the classic barrels and bloody chests. Yeah, okay. That's good enough for me. And yeah, that's pretty much the blacksmith done. I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. Dude, that looks awesome up in the left corner over there, dude. Yes, bloody beautiful. All right, next up on my big stinking list of, well, realistic buildings that should be in, like, you know, medieval cities and stuff is an inn, of course. You know, people love to drink. I don't really drink, you know. I'll sink a couple apple ciders here and there, but that's about it for me. You know, I'm sure back in bloody medieval times when there wasn't really anything better to do, people would just bloody drink. So it's time to get a big old inn built here. I'm thinking kind of like bang, 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 something like that. So yeah, I'm going to use the ortho camera mod here to get the positioning kind of perfect, like, you know, exactly where I'm wanting it. And yeah, so this building is going to be probably pretty similar to the blacksmith here. I'm going to do 2 stories once again. I'll do stone on the bottom, diorite on the top. You know, very similar. So we'll get this built as another real quick time lapse right now. First up, of course, the pillars, which ended up needing 2 trips to the bloody tree farm, but once they were all added in, it was time to add in the staircase and the stone walls for the bottom floor, along with the diorite ones for the top floor. I also added in the entrance for the bottom floor and then moved straight up to the roof, again using the same design as the town, just in a much wider shape to account for the width of the building. I also added in plenty of dormers to keep the roof looking interesting too. Finishing up, I just added all the details under the pillars. Alright, now with the exterior of the inn completed, I want to head on inside down to the bottom floor here, and honestly, down here, I had no idea what I want to add. Probably just a whole bunch of freaking storage barrels and crap everywhere. Yeah, I think that's just gonna about do it. Yeah, I don't really know what else to add down here. So let's head up to the second floor where I do know exactly what I want to add in. So off to the right here, let's add in our actual like little bartender area thingamajig, you know what I'm trying to say? So that's our little access point here, and then we'll have our, you know, our table thing. I've gotten some tripwire hooks and some barrels so that they can kind of serve up some booze, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Now let's get some tables and chairs strewn across, you know, kind of this area. Bang, bang. There we go. So there's a nice little kind of sitting area. And now back here, I'm thinking I want to add in 2 little rooms. I'm pretty sure it's inns that have rooms usually, you know? I can't remember if it's an inn or a... I don't know what the other one's called. I think it's like a pub or something maybe. But, well, the one in our village at least does have some rooms in it. They're quite cozy rooms, so don't bloody worry about that. They will be quite cheap. And in here we can just get like a little bit of storage and some random stuff, maybe a lantern as well. And I'll just repeat that same thing over on this side. Bang, there we go. So there is our inn interior, looking quite nice and fancy. I really do like that. And let's take a look with the ortho camera mod, and dude, this is looking so good. Our little expansion is coming along so nicely. But now it is time for the next build, which is going to go right beside this inn over here. And a lot of things that a lot of medieval villages actually have is a bit of a windmill to grind up the grain and stuff that they'd be harvesting. I was going to make one out of granite, but I might actually just look up some medieval windmills for some inspiration to try and get something a little bit more realistic. Okay, after doing a little bit of research, it turns out there's a couple of different types of windmills, like a post mill, a smock mill. The one we're going to be making right now is called a tower mill, which looks a little bit like this. So I'm going to be making the body out of granite and bricks, which is pretty much exactly what I actually wanted to do originally anyway. I'm just going to modify the design slightly by adding a nice cute little diorite roof on top. I think that's going to look quite nice. So let's first figure out the position using the ortho camera mod. I'm thinking right smack bang here is going to be bloody perfect. Might do something like this because I do want it to get... Oh, of course, here's the bloody rain. I want it to just get a tiny bit smaller as we go kind of up a bit higher, you know? And yeah, let's pretty much just get started with another bloody time lapse right now. What I ended up doing first was moving the entire build back a couple of blocks just because I felt it was a bit too close to the houses. I then just continued raising the base up, adding in our stair windows along the way until finally reaching the top where I added on our diorite and deep slate roof. Once I'd gotten that completed, it was time for the final piece, the windmill sail, of which I struggled with a bit. I changed between fences and wall and diorite stairs until settling on diorite walls, and yeah, I definitely made a few swastikas along the way. Okay, and now as for our interior, we're of course going to need a door, so let's slap that on. I'm going to replace all of the ground here with some oak slabs, so just give me a moment. All right, there we go. Next, what I want to do is grab some oak fences and just kind of bring them all the way down, as if that's our like kind of shaft that's being turned by the, you know, the sail. You know what I'm trying to say? Let's bring this all the way down to the bottom right here, and then I kind of just want to add like a little bucket kind of circular thing around this that you would theoretically put your grain into, or to put your wheat into to turn into, you know, flour or whatever. I don't know how this shit works, man. Just fucking just go with it, all right? In here, we'll get, you know, a couple of chests, a couple of barrels. Maybe off on this side, we could get some hay bales, just something like that, you know, nothing too crazy. And bang, that's the interior done. As for the outside, I definitely do want to add a couple of little details like some hay bales. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with our little windmill here. Turned out pretty nice. Let's take a look once again with the ortho camera mod, and yeah, dude. I wish I could get those sails angled without it looking like a swastika, but it's really hard to do that, so it's time to just bloody move on to the next build, which is going to be a church. I don't think I've ever built a church in survival. I think I've made like maybe 2 in my life, and I want to make like kind of a smaller style church. Because yeah, surprisingly, medieval villages pretty much always have bloody churches in them. So I'm going to go look up some more references to help me, because I'm definitely going to need it. So yeah, give me a second. Okay, so here's the reference that I ended up finding. I'm going to change it up actually quite a bit, because yeah, this thing is pretty massive, and I'm wanting something a little bit more kind of quaint, I guess, because we don't really have a lot of room back here. Well, for at least the frame that I kind of want for this, you know, this village, I guess. I don't know. I'm also going to change that front tower up quite a bit as well, and just kind of make it my own. So yeah, first of which I need to fill in this big old stinking gap here, which unfortunately I think I've run out of dirt. I'm gonna have to go back to the freaking goddamn chest. Give me a second. Yeah, I'll go get that. I'll fill all this in and we'll get started. Okay, so here is the area that we have to work with. So as you can see, it's not going to be too extravagant, okay? The front entrance is gonna go right about here. This is going to be our tower, of which I'm going to make a simple little 3x3 shape, with the entrance to the church actually being right in the middle of it as well. And now the church is actually gonna start like kind of in between this. So we're gonna do something like that. So the church is actually gonna be 7 blocks wide in total. And I want this whole thing to just be completely textured with stone and stone bricks. And actually, I'm thinking maybe at least some corner pillars of polished andesite will look quite nice. So let me go grab some real quick. All right, I am back with some polished andesite. And yeah, I definitely think that is going to be a nice little corner block there. Now for the windows, I do want to try something kind of cool and mimic like the reference a little bit more here. We can get something like this going, and then, oh, actually we might even start it here. We can get like some stairs on these blocks. We will just continue these ones up like normal. And then what I want to try doing is actually insetting these windows. And let's get our windows there and see how that looks. Yeah, that's cool. I like those like inset windows. Definitely does look weird in here, but I mean, we could try and find some cool stuff to put in between those spots. All right, what I think I'm going to do now is just continue the rest of this build as a nice little time lapse. So let's get bloody started. Continuing on with the walls, I just repeated that same window design, which looking from this angle actually looks pretty cool and a lot like a church with those big inset windows. With those windows done, I extended the front tower up a bit higher and got started on the roof, opting for some andesite stairs in line with the pillars and filling the rest with granite. After adding a cute little cross, I continued extending up the front tower along with adding some crenellations on top. Alright, there is the exterior of the church done. Once again, here's a look with the ortho camera mod. I think it turned out very nice, pretty much exactly how I wanted it. So now it is time to head on inside, of course. Alright, now as for decorating in here, I was thinking that these cool little like nooks here could make like some awesome little looking, you know, confession booth things, I guess. Yeah, I just thought that'd be kind of cool. I'll just get these doors. Actually, I won't add them on back here because what I want to do back here is add in like a stage where the pastor or whatever would talk on. Forgive me for not knowing like, you know, church terms, okay? I'm sorry, but yeah. So here's his little thing that he reads off of. Back up here, I definitely feel like there would be a bit of a cross going on. So let's get one of those slapped in. Yeah, that actually looks really cool. Just for a little bit of decoration, we'll get some trapdoors kind of lined along here, I guess. And then pretty much I just want to fill out the rest of this area with some chairs. Yeah, there we have a cute little church interior. Let's head back out and get started on the next build. All right, so next on my list is going to be a bit of a communal kitchen. And I actually found this reference image here, which, dude, has just sparked so many like ideas in my head, and I think this is going to look really cool. So I've just kind of flattened off this area up over here, and I think this is going to be the perfect spot for it. There we go. And then kind of off to the side here is where we will have that big kind of oven thing, which I think is going to turn out really cool. And then I'm just going to build this house kind of like the rest. I don't know, that's going to look a bit weird. Okay, we're going to have to make it 1 block higher. Just give me a second, I'll get this frame built. Okay, there is the frame for our communal kitchen. What I'm going to do next is get all of the walls established, of course, just out of stone, kind of, yeah, pretty much mimicking these exact houses. I reckon we'll have the entrance right over here. So just let me quickly get these added in, and I'll be right back. All right, now what I'm actually going to do, yeah, so I left this kind of like curve open thing here, which I think would look pretty cool. And what I'm actually going to do is continue the frame all the way out this way, kind of like in the reference. And I'll actually make the roof extend over this entire like building here. So we'll get that connected up. I'll leave all of this open, and then we will get a roof built on top. I'm pretty much just going to make this exact same roof, so I'm not even going to bother with a time lapse. So give me a second, I'll get this done. All right, so there is our building complete and looking good. I got a big stinking chimney up there too, which is going to be for our big stinking oven that's going to be right here. And so my idea on how to build this is going to revolve around kind of, you know, various blocks of granite and, yeah, stuff like that. So basically, we're going to start off with a bit of a shape like that. Again, looking at the reference, what I might do is actually make this just connect up to the ground normally. So we'll do something like that. I'll extend this up another block here and add on a bunch of stairs kind of circling around like this. There we go. And that is pretty much our oven right there. What I can do is now remove probably this side and maybe this side. We'll add in some stairs kind of like this. I think that'll look quite nice there. And then we can add in a campfire right here. There we go. So that's our little oven cooking away there. You know, theoretically that smoke is going up into that chimney. Yeah, don't worry about it. Now for this interior, I am going to replace the ground here, probably with some, well, probably stone actually. Just give me a second, I'll get that done. All right, now what I've just gone and done is mined a bunch of cobblestone to make some more furnaces and a little bit more granite as well for our next project. And I actually just realized that under here, we have some coal, which is actually gonna be very useful for our next project as well. So I'm going to quickly mine all of this up, so just give me a second. Okay, and in here, I think we would definitely have, yeah, a lot of furnaces in here, along with a couple of workbenches like this. There would probably be a bunch of extinguished campfires, like, you know, just logs and stuff in here as well. And there we go. That is the perfect little communal kitchen there with this like awesome little oven design. I just love that, dude. Like I never would have thought to add that if I hadn't been looking for like some references. So yeah, I definitely highly encourage using references to, you know, just find ideas and stuff like that, because yeah, sometimes it is kind of hard to come up with ideas by yourself. You know, even for someone who plays Minecraft basically every day like me, there's no bloody shame in using reference images, okay? Yeah, I just felt adding this little arch kind of thing here would look nice. We can get a lantern on there too, and bang, there is our communal kitchen fully completed and looking absolutely beautiful. All right, now next up on my list is something called some charcoal burners. You know, if you're an avid primitive technology enjoyer like I am, you would know that to get some, you know, hotter kind of fires, you need charcoal as the fuel instead of just plain old stinking wood. And one of the easiest ways to make charcoal is to just put a bunch of logs into like a mound of clay or dirt or something like that. So we're going to be mimicking that here with our bricks, granite and polished granite, and you basically just make them into these big kind of mounds. So I'm going to be making these kind of maybe in this shape. I know they are a bit big, but you know, they were pretty bloody big. You want them to be big to be efficient. There we go. Something like that I think is going to be pretty good. We might make maybe 3 or 4. So these are kind of like dome shaped, I guess. And yeah, so I feel like having this right next to the communal kitchen is kind of the perfect spot, because that is where a lot of the fuel might be used. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a good height. Now we might just transition into some stairs here. All right, and then to cap it off, we will just add in a bunch of slabs along the top here. And there we go. There we have our first charcoal burner giant mound thing. I thought I was going to have a use for these blocks of coal, but yeah, I mean, you're not really going to be able to bloody see them in there. So I might just turn these back to coal and use them for, you know, more campfires and stuff like that. But I do need to go get a bunch more bricks and granite to continue building these. So give me a second and I'll go get those, and we'll start building the rest as a time lapse right now. Okay, and that just about completes pretty much the last build I actually wanted to get done for our village here. Here's how we're looking from afar. Dude, this place is looking so good. But yeah, so that actually leads me on to the final things that I just kind of want to polish off. So in between here and the pathway, I want to add a little bit of a crop farm. We also have another one that I mentioned earlier that I want to add in between the blacksmith and the mine up over there. Yeah, so kind of up in this area, just like a little bit of a... Actually, we don't really have much room for one, do we? Okay, we might actually just get one added in, maybe like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But yeah, also another thing is we don't have any pathways connecting this up to like the rest of the village. You know, the inn, no bloody pathways. None of this has pathways. So I'm going to get one big stinking time lapse done, where I'm going to get all of that stuff done, connecting all of the pathways up and adding in a couple extra little farms here and there. So yeah, let's get to it. For the first set of pathways, I connected the existing one up towards the inn, and then from the inn over to the blacksmith. I also added a quaint little wheat farm here too. From the inn, I branched that path over to the windmill and connected it back to the main path, along with adding another one for the church. Over here at the charcoal mounds, I opted to add a big path here instead of the carrot field I'd planned. I did, however, end up planting a cute little field between the kitchen and the church, consisting of both wheat and carrots. I added another very small patch of carrots in this spot between the church and windmill, and just because I couldn't help myself, I added another little field over here by the inn and blacksmith. Alright, and there we have it. That is just about going to conclude everything I wanted to add to my village to make it the village I've always wanted. This thing turned out freaking amazing, dude. I'm actually super surprised with how well this has come out, man. My hardcore base is pretty freaking cool, but in terms of farming is lacking slightly. So that's where my plans for this episode come in. Essentially, I want to build a crap load of farms in the most aesthetic way I possibly can. And honestly, I've never been more excited, so let's get into it, mate. Alright, and well, the first thing I usually want to do is find the perfect location to start building, but before even that, there is something else I need to find. One of the farms involves, well, a certain block that I need a certain, well, lush cave for. And so what I want to do is just have a search around in the surrounding landscape and, well, pray that I can find a freaking lush cave somewhere, man. So yeah, I'm gonna start scouring the landscape, and I'll be back once I've, well, hopefully found a freaking lush cave, man. Oh, guys, I'm not gonna lie, it is looking fairly grim. I've searched a couple of caves now and have found Jack Diddley. But yeah, I'll report back. I'll do a little bit more scouting, but it's not looking good. Oh my god, dude. Finally, an actual, like, cave that goes in, and it looks like it's a goddamn dead end. You've got to be kidding me. Of course, we got two boners to deal with. Let me get rid of these fellas. Get out of here, dude. Oh, okay, maybe. We've got some entrances around here. What, James? What, Bubba? Looks like we got our first dead end. Let's take a look in this, oh, shit. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, this goes down. Oh my god, no way. Do you see what I see? If this skeleton would stop shooting me, I see a goddamn lush cave, boys and girls. We are in luck. My god, just when it was looking, it couldn't look grimmer, we have found a cave. Yes! Dude, the amount of skeletons down here is ridiculous. I don't get it. Get out of here, buddy. Oh, that is so good. Yes. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. All right, well, what I am here for exactly is some of this juicy stuff right here. I have a really cool idea for a farm that I want to build that involves these, and... oh my god, you're kidding me. I need shears. You dickhead. Well, thankfully there is some freaking iron here. Hopefully more than one. Yes. I'm gonna get some cobble. Oh, we need a crafting table. Freaking god, man. Alright, I'm gonna go back up, get some wood for a crafting table, make a furnace, smelt this iron, craft some shears, and I'll be back right now. And of course, dude, we've got all of my favorite mobs combined into one over there. Fuck, you're kidding. Can I just collect some shit in peace, man? Like, fuck off. And there's another one. You can't make this shit up, dude. Sorry, I'm getting really upset over this, but it's just ridiculous. Wait. You're kidding, I can't even harvest it. That's right, I think you can only... you get it from them, right? And then you can place them? Yes. Okay. So I didn't even need to go make them. I could have just harvested this. What an idiot. All right, well, I'm going to harvest as much as I can get my grubby little hands on. And, well, I'll meet you guys back down at the old base. All right, we are back. And, yes, for those of you about to leave a comment, I did remember that you can bone meal frickin' the glow berries to just get them easier. So, put those typing fingers away, okay, mate? But yeah, we're back. We've got plenty of glowberries now. And so what it's time to do next is, well, just go ahead and start trying to find an area for us to build at. Now, I do have one spot in mind that nice looking area in the top right over there. We do have quite a flat area. It's going to need a minimal terraforming, so I think that's going to be the spot. What I need to do is just, well, clear out a bunch of the crap in my inventory. So let me get to that, and I'll meet you guys over there. All right, and here we are at the spot. I'm thinking, yeah, we're definitely going to have to do a little bit of terraforming here. We got some holes and some lumps and bumps to smoothen off, but this is looking pretty freaking good. So I'm, yeah, location has been bloody well found. I'm pretty happy with this. And so what I'm going to get to now is, well, the aforementioned smoothing off of the landscape. So, yeah, let's just get freaking right into it, mate. Alright, now with our massive area flattened off, what I want to do is just come into kind of the middle between, well, that cave on the left and then the big mountain on the right, so, which I'd say is right about smack bang frickin' here. And what I want to do is just add a pathway starting from here all the way down to the end, but I don't want a straight old boring frickin' pathway, you know? I want this thing to curve around like that. Say hello right here.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, now you gotta go. You say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He's waving at the microphone as well, just so you guys know. All right, back to bloody work. So, yeah, I want to get a pathway added smack bang here. Now, I did originally want to do this out of stone, but I've changed my mind to granite and bricks. All right, and well, as you can see, I've already cleared out an area for the path, but yeah, it's not exactly curved at the moment. You can see it's kind of more diagonal lines. So it goes like straight this way, then it just goes straight that way. What I want to do is just completely redo everything I've just done because it doesn't look like what I want. All right, so because I want more of a curved pathway instead of more diagonal, what I basically did wrong was make every stretch of straight path the exact same length, 4 blocks, when what I need to do is make the kind of bits that approach the curve a lot smaller, I guess. So I'm going to start off with a stretch of 2 block wide kind of path here. Actually, I'm going to only fill it in afterwards. I'm just going to remove the pathway now to make things a bit easier. Then as we approach a turn, we're going to go like this, and I'm going to keep these 2 blocks wide until we get out as wide as I want, which I'd say is about there. And then from here, we're going to go straight for a little bit longer, so maybe double the length here, and then what I might do is go out 1 block more. So if we take a look from above, that gives us a much more curved looking pathway. That looks way better. And then essentially what we're going to do is just repeat that exact same thing going back this way, and then we're going to flip it going out that way and then going back straight. And then what I'm going to do is just texture all of that with our bricks, granite, and polished granite to get a really nice kind of garden-y style pathway. And I am freaking excited for how awesome this is going to look, so let's get started right now. Alright, so I just continued excavating the blocks for the path, making sure to get a nice couple curves in, along with filling it in with our textured blocks. I then got started on a secondary tertiary pathway. I don't actually know what tertiary means, I just thought it sounded cool, but this path would section off our area into 4 quadrants, making it easier to build. Okay, and there we go. There is our beautiful pathways all done and added in, and this is looking pretty cool and, well, a little bit weird if I might say, but it should look a lot nicer once we've gotten all of our farms added in. But before we do that, I want to actually add in a little bit of a feature that runs alongside these pathways here, and that is like a little bit of a water stream that, well, theoretically, and, well, actually will power some of the farms. Well, not power them, but, you know, water them. You know what I freaking mean, man. So what I'm going to do is just remove a single line that runs alongside all of these pathways here. If we just head back over here, you'll see exactly what my idea is. We're going to add some stairs like this. That's just a bit of an example there, but this, dude, this is going to look freaking awesome. So now we start filling these up with some water. And bro, I'm not kizzy capping when I say that this is going to look freaking great. So here's a look from afar. Dude, that looks awesome with that water there. Honestly, I feel like we might need to add this water in more spots. Roll another goddamn time lapse. Alright, and now with our pathways added in and looking awesome, what I want to get started on next is adding like some nice hedge kind of arches along the pathway, kind of towards the middle area here. So I just want to get something plain and simple, not too crazy, you know? Yeah, something like that looks pretty nice. So I want to add a couple of these along this middle area of the path. We'll get another one smack bang added right freaking here. It looks like I might have to go shave a couple more freaking trees down. So yeah, just give me a second, I'll get the rest of these added in, and we'll see how it looks. Alright, so there is our hedges added in, and that just makes our path kind of come to life a little bit more. I mean, it does kind of look a bit strange at the moment, but once we've added in all the farms around it, it should look a lot nicer. And so speaking of, it is time to frickin' get started on our goddamn farms. With this first one here being a, well, technically it's going to be a, whatchamacallit farm? The frickin' glowberries. It's a bloody glowberry farm, but it's gonna actually look like hops, like a hop farm from, you know, real life. And so we kind of need to design exactly how this is going to look. So we'll start it right here. So we're gonna have a full block, then we're gonna have a slab on each side, and then we're gonna have 3 trapdoors, 1, 2, 3. And we'll do the same on this side too, 1, 2, 3. And then hanging from all of these, we're going to have our glow berries like so. And those are gonna all grow down and look freaking nice, man. And so that is essentially our design right there. What we're going to do now is, well, just continue this design. So we're gonna go back to a slab and then back to a full block right here. And that's the idea there. Now, obviously I do want to add in a couple more rows. And to do that, we will just, you know, add another one beside this and just repeat the exact same thing like this. Yeah, so that's the idea there. I'm going to, well, continue repeating this design and fill up this entire area. I might widen this a little bit more as well. And, well, let's get started on the freaking time lapse. Alright, so there is our hop slash glowberry farm so far. Obviously, I'm waiting for them to all kind of grow in so we can continue planting these. But now this is lacking a lot of, well, individual kind of random detail stuff. And so my idea for that is to basically have a bunch of like barrels and leaves and stuff as if they're kind of like packing and storing the materials. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, here we go. A bit of like a keg on a stand. That looks pretty cool. Another really cool detail could be maybe some like, just like a cube of leaves here, maybe even a freaking rectangle of leaves, and they've been like kind of wrapped with like trap doors, I guess. And that just kind of looks like some like packaged hops or like something like that, I guess. Maybe because it looks weird with the front being open, we could add some signs on the front and back as well. Yeah, there we go. That looks even better. That looks pretty cool. And we do have a couple of like little gaps and stuff scattered around here, so we could add all kinds of little details like that. Right here might be a good candidate for just like a big freaking chunk of barrels like this. And we do have some big gaps here as well in between our wall that we made and the, you know, the hop farm. So we can definitely get a bunch more of those details added in here. All right, and there we go. With all that detail added into that wall, that is actually looking really nice now. And yeah, so that's pretty much just gonna do it for our first farm here, the hop slash glowberry farm. That actually came out looking freaking awesome. Yeah, I'm super happy with how this turned out. All right, and well, as for the other side of, you know, this, I've already gotten started because my freaking recording messed up, of course. But essentially, we're just getting these 3 block wide rows of farms here. We're starting with wheat, going to carrots, and then I'm going to go to spuds. And then we're just going to alternate between those throughout this entire spot. I might even clear off this big chunk of mountain as well because it is a bit in the way. And we'll just continue that kind of crop shape down the line here until we reach, you know, in line with this fence, I guess. So, yeah, let's get started. All right, there is all of our crop farms. Well, once again, not done. I'm waiting for them to grow in so I can replant everything. But now I want to move on to this kind of quadrant of our farmland area, with the first thing I want to add being a bit of a tree farm. So for this, I just roughly want to follow the shape of this path here. I was going to get it in line with this wall here, but I think that's just going to be way too much, you know, tree farm. I don't want it to be that thick, okay? So I might start it maybe about here, and we're going to just start, well, marking out the edge of it with our shovel here. And this fucking grass is pissing me off, man. Get the hell out of here. So I'm just simply looking at the path above there, and I'm mimicking the shape so that our tree farm will kind of conform to that oh my fucking god, I'm gonna lose it. So that our tree farm will kind of conform to that shape. There we go. That is pretty good. I'm just going to clean up these corners a little bit by adding, you know, an extra... Dude. Nothing could have gone more wrong there. Well, I could have gotten blown up by a creeper, but dude, I somehow dug the block and planted a freaking lantern too. It couldn't be more annoying. I think I need to take a break, don't I? Okay, there we go. So that is our outline for our, well, our tree farm here. So now what I'm going to start doing is planting in all of our freaking trees here, okay? And yeah, I think that is going to grow in quite nicely. And well, that was our next farm, pretty much all done and added in already. That was nice and easy. Well, that leads on to the left of this area here, this absolutely massive field. And I've actually got 3 different farm ideas for, you know, this area. All right, and well, before I can get started on these farms, I actually need to go and find one of the things for one of these farms, which is, well, spruce saplings, okay? I don't think I found a single one in my world yet, because I did just do a search in my chest, and I haven't found any. So it is time to go on a bit of a grand adventure in search of a goddamn spruce tree. So I will hopefully meet you guys, well, at the spruce tree that I've found. Oh my god, I've found it. Some freaking spruce trees. It is a beautiful sight to see. I will also point out the fact that some of our landscape is a little bit messed up, and that is simply because I accidentally left on the tectonic biome generator mod when I was supposed to only have, well, freaking geophilic. So yeah, our terrain in this world is now completely messed up, which is quite unfortunate. But on the upside, we have finally found spruce in this world. It is a beautiful thing to behold. So I'm now going to chop down a bunch of these trees, get as many saplings as I freaking can, and bring them back to my little farmland. So I'll meet you guys back there. All right, we are now back with a bunch of spruce saplings ready to go. Now what I want to do is, well, start building these 3 farms here. And so I want to go kind of in order of highest to lowest. So first up, we're going to have a bamboo here. So I'm going to head into our ortho camera view here because I want to split this area into thirds. So this is going to be pretty freaking hard. And that is looking pretty good there. That looks pretty close to that path down there. And so now essentially what I want to do is, well, fill up all the way up until here with bamboo. Yeah, dude, that is going to be a lot of bamboo. So once again, I'm gonna have to wait for this to grow in and harvest it, and then I'll replant it all. But now let's get the same thing done here with our spruce saplings this time. That's all right. That's a decent shape there. Once again, same thing. We're just going to, well, start filling this up with spruce saplings. But dude, once all this grows in, it's going to look freaking good. I can promise you that. And I'm so excited for how it's going to turn out. And so for our final farm down in this quadrant of our farmland area here is going to be some sugarcane. And well, for this final section, I kind of want to go, instead of going like this way, we're going to go this way. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, my explaining skills are unparalleled. Like, find me someone else that's better explaining than I am. Freaking hell. All right, so we're going to leave a 1 block gap, or maybe even 2. What we're going to do is, well, in these spots, we're going to place in some water. So now, if we are to fill this up with some freaking agua, and go ahead and place our sugarcane all along this, we're going to get some really nice looking rows that conform to the shape of the pathways, which is essentially exactly what I'm freaking wanting. So we take a look from afar. Perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. It'll look even better once it's, you know, got the spruce kind of forest behind it. And I'm just going to copy that exact same shape over, you know, in that one there, and repeat the whole freaking process down to, well, all the way down freaking there. So yeah, this is going to take a little while, and you know what that means. Another freaking time lapse. Let's get started. Okay, and there is our next 3 farms coming along nicely. Yeah, I really wish I had enough freaking materials to plant in everything straight away. It's kind of annoying, but here's our farm so far. Dude, looking awesome. I'm super happy with how this is coming along. And well, so that entire left half of the farm now is pretty much done except for the replanting. So now it is time to move on to this side. So for this entire quadrant up here, my idea is to basically have like a big spanning kind of flower field, I guess. And I want to have a snaking path kind of throughout the entire thing. So this path is going to be made out of, well, dirt path. And once again, I kind of want to mimic the path next to it. So we're going to go into this view once again. I'll tell you what, this freaking grass in the way is actually pissing me off, man. I'm on the verge of losing it right now. And then once we get to here, I should probably zoom this in a bit more so you can see a bit better, eh? Once we get to here, we'll do the same thing. We'll kind of have it wrap back around this way. Something like that. There we go. There's like a bit of a cool looking, interesting path, I guess. And now what I want to do is just essentially fill up this entire field with flowers. You know what I might even do is find some beehives while I'm at it, because I do have silk touch, and we can get some beehives placed along here as well. So I'm going to go on a little bit of an adventure in search of, well, hopefully a freaking flower forest. That would be perfect. Oh, I see a bee. Where's your hive, mate? We need it. Oh, there it is. Yes. Okay, sweet. We got our first beehive. Perfect. Oh, okay. There's another one. Where is your hive? He's going that way. Whether he's going home or to a freaking flower, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Sweet. Yoink. Thanks, idiot. The flowers are pretty freaking scarce in between you know, these biomes here. I haven't really found any. What the hell is going on here? This is a pretty cool looking area. We've got another dickhead flying around here too. Come on, mate. All right, we are back. I managed to find an extra beehive, so we got 3 in total now, and I have a whole crap load of different flowers. So first what I want to do is just try and find a couple of nice spots to chuck some of these beehives. Like I think right here is going to be perfect. We'll have it face out this way as well. Actually, I don't think it really has a face, does it? Or whatever those things are. That's the face of it. Okay. Then I reckon we'll get another one up here. And then the last one probably over like yonder somewhere. Yep, right there. Bang. Perfect. Okay, now what I want to do is just pretty much scatter freaking flowers everywhere. I don't want to get like the flowers kind of randomly added. I want to get patches of specific flowers. I think it'll look nice. Also, if you're wondering why some of my flowers look different even though they're the same flowers, it's thanks to... Shit, what is it? Spring Flowers Resource Pack. It's in my DB's Refined mod pack. You can find on Modrinth as well. And that also has every single mod that I'm using right now, including my shaders and the settings. So make sure to check that out, all right? And yeah, that's looking pretty cool so far. We're definitely going to have to bone meal some grass in between all these as well, and maybe even get more flowers too. All right, so yeah, give me a minute. I'll fill the rest of this out. I do have to probably go get some more flowers to fill out the rest of these areas. So I'll go get that done. Oh my God. All right, so there is our freaking flower forest done. Dude, that... Brother, okay. Speak English, you fuckwit. That turned out really good. Like, I honestly, like having the patches of the same flowers in the same sections looks freaking awesome. Like what I would have done is just scattered every flower everywhere and it just would have looked horrible. So yeah, I'm really glad I did that. That looks freaking sweet. Oh my God, is the freaking rain, man. All right, well, so that is our, our third quadrant done. We now have this bottom right section to do. And I actually have some really cool ideas for this area. And well, the first idea is going to be something very simple. A couple of goddamn crop fields once again. Now we do only have one set of crop fields over yonder, so I definitely think a second set will be quite beneficial. I don't know what I'm saying, man. But so I want to have some going this way, and then I want to have some going that way. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And we're going to have it in this area in here. So yeah, I'm just going to... Okay, I'm just going to get it done as another goddamn time lapse, so let's just get to it! Alright, so there is our crop field all done. Well, once again, except for the frickin' spuds, man. I'm waiting for them to grow. Now that's left us with this area here that I actually want to just completely fill up with a bit of a pond. I think that is going to look super frickin' cool, man. So kind of like the reservoir for all of this little channel of water. And this is where it's all going to like kind of accumulate and, you know, be the stockpile of water, I guess. So, what I'm going to do is... Well, fuck. I don't know, I don't exactly know how I want to do this in the best way possible. I don't know if I want to just remove the stairs from here and just like start water basically all here, or if I want to have a little bit of a trickle, kind of more stairs here, and then the pond starts, you know? Actually, I've got an idea kind of based on both of those, I guess. And then what we'll do is start removing some blocks like this, and then we'll kind of have it gradually get larger and larger, you know what I'm saying? All right, well, yeah, literally, I'm just freaking digging out a bunch of shit. I'm gonna have to fill in a bunch of shit. I'm gonna have to go repair my goddamn shovel, most likely. So once again, God, there's a lot of time lapses in this video, but, let's start another one. All right, so I continued excavating along with filling over the cave below and also getting water added in. I then bone milled a bunch of water to get some seagrass and continued decorating with plenty of grass, leaves, flowers, and bushes. All right, and there is our pond created and looking awesome. And that leads us to this final section here. And my idea for this area is to actually have a little bit of a dripstone cave in order to grow more of these pointed dripstones, because I've only got 20 of the bastards, okay? So my idea is to kind of carve out this area of the landscape. Let's just get freaking started instead of explaining it like an idiot. So I reckon from like about here, we'll start our kind of descent into the cave. And then from like maybe this point here, we'll have like stone or something here. So that's like our entrance there. And then this is just going to go gradually down further. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of see it starting to take shape now. We're just going to do a little bit more excavating down, probably one more level, I reckon. Now what I'm going to do is, well, hit the freaking sack because it's going nighttime. time and I don't want to get exploded by a creeper. Now, I'm going to go grab a bunch of stone and start replacing this shit with freaking stone, man. It's going to take freaking forever. Sorry, I don't know why I just started swearing a lot recently, like within the last minute, but get fucked, you know what I'm saying? You fucking freak. Dude, we have enough stone here to last a freaking lifetime, I'm telling you. Jesus Christ. All right, let's grab some of that crap. And what I want to do is just start replacing a bunch of this with some stone, you know what I'm saying? Now, some of this I do actually want to make into stairs because I want to have water kind of leak over this way. There we go. There's our dripstone kind of growth area. Yes, that looks like it should still work. And then we can whack our pointed dripstone on those bad boys like that. There we go. That's the idea, okay? Basically a dripstone farm, but cool looking, realistic looking, I guess. And so what I'm going to do is make maybe 1 or 2 more of these pinnacles over this way. All right, and there we have it. Let's chuck these bad boys on. I don't know. I think they only grow faster on these. I think they still grow if they're on, as long as they have like water above them or some shit. I don't know. We'll just see how that goes. Might even chuck one there for good luck. But yeah, I think that is looking pretty freaking good. And well, I think it's time to get a view of our entire area. Holy crap. That is looking pretty freaking sweet. All right, well, what I think it is time to do is to just start scattering some details everywhere, okay? Some of these farms are a little bit plain at the moment, and I did go ransack a village off in the distance, so I got a bunch of hay bales here, and even a composter too, so I reckon we can just add some kind of details like this scattered around the place. Might go craft a couple more composters as well, and I'm also going to work on getting the rest of everything else planted in and looking good, like all the bamboo, the rest of the sugar cane, the rest of the freaking crops over here too. So I think it's time to get one final time lapse started right now. The first order of business was getting the sugarcane and bamboo filled in as much as I could right now. I then moved on to getting a couple more hay bale decorations placed around, as well as filling out more of our crop farms with, well, crops. I then felt our beehives could use this cute little design I came up with on the spot, a bit of a roofed shelter to keep them out of the rain, and I felt it just tied the area together a bit better as more of a bee farm. And so with those fully completed, I really felt our area just needed some type of building as a sort of farmhouse, or like a building for the people that theoretically manage the farmland. And so for this, I got quite a large frame established, along with using textured andesite and stone for the bottom floor and diorite and polished diorite for the top floor for some contrast. For the details, plenty of trapdoors, stairs and lanterns were of course placed everywhere, and for the roof I went with more of a barn shape using textured deep slate tiles and bricks with of course a dormer and a chimney. Alright, and that just about does it for all of the farms I wanted to get created this episode. If you want to download this build along with any others from any of my videos, be sure to check out my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.